ये मैं ये पीसी को आखिरी बार बोल रहा हूँ, ये पीसी की मैं गांड मार दूंगा। वो लोडू को बोल, अभी मैं पीसी तक लिया लोडू बोल के बोलो। क्या बोलो?
Go all the way. That's a great chance for them.
And it's the map that both of the teams have picked the most. I think that it will be a very, very fair decide.
अरे चार्जिंग में से नको निकाल, सो जा तू। अरे
but it all starts with Lotus and what these two teams can bring onto the table. We saw Wolves having a shaky start against Gen G. Is it going to be the same against the Paper X that will probably be super hungry for that final?
And you can hear the crowd. And the moment certainly does not escape that young man right there who's looking to make history, not just for himself, but for VCT China to be another team to punch their ticket to a grand finals. That is not EDG. So for SoFat Baby and the rest of the squad, this is a massive moment and a massive achievement for this squad. But across
इसकी माँ का ठीक है जी। मेरी मसला क्या है मालूम? मैं सुबह से कुछ भी नहीं खाया, जब से आया जाके भुर्जी बना देना रे। नहीं कई को लैग हो रहा है रे बुल्ले। नेट गया क्या? नहीं रे वाईफाई गया क्या? कुछ लैग हो रहा है
for them, Kukuka.
Yeah.
But there is that energy in the arena where people are thinking to themselves.
मैं खुश है एलेक्स आज। खुश तो बहुत है कि तुम सेंटिनल्स को बाहर का ही रास्ता बता रहे हो लोगों सीधा।
It's one of those. That's because Lotus still has not started. Yeah, it's going to be definitely one of the most important matches for Paper X to the date. Yes, we've seen it in finals before, but after Pacific got their first winner, after it was not them, it's been a we are waiting for you to be back.
But Paper X has been here before. They've made international finals before. They're comfortable on these kinds of stages under this kind of pressure. This is the first chance to make a final for Wolves. Here's your agent select, and it doesn't look like we're getting any surprises. Paper X going back to this double duelist comp has been so successful for them.
Yeah, they struggle a lot against Team Liquid during the Swiss stage on their second half, on their attacking half. The regions and the way that they've controlled the map from this defense has been very, very good for them. If they can
I need to wait.
Flushing out these lurks, not letting Spring get away with the shenanigans he's been up to all tournament.
At the same time, you have to think of what Wolves have to care about. Something, if he gets on with that operator easily, they're going to have a very good chance of snowballing this defense.
That's the scary part, right? If he's able to get that op online, you need to shut him down. Otherwise, he will run roughshod all over you there.
He absolutely will. So much pressure for these Wolves players. The style that they play, that slow, structured Valorant. I think it befits staying calm in these situations, but GB, this is going to be a big one for them.
Oh yeah, Toronto! Are you
Toronto, let's go!
For the bracket final! And let's go ahead and send it over to two of the greatest of all time on the mic. It's Pansy and Hypoc.
Thank you so much, GB and the desk. Yeah, Mike, I think we have to kind of touch on what the desk was talking about there. The stylistic head-to-head is something to be excited for.
And it is, yeah, it's almost, I mean, talking about in the lead up to this, talking about a similar play style, but actually Paper X almost have the recipe to break apart what Wolves have kind of made the cornerstone of their playbook, right? This slow creeping default, looking for a gap somewhere. Paper X are the team that time and time again are able to come up with ideas on the fly to really disrupt that sort of gameplay.
And again, for Paper X, I feel like everyone's looking like they're the underdogs in this. Oh,
which is crazy, right?
Hey, do you not remember them in Champs Finals? Yeah, they lost it. I mean, the perennial second place team, sure, but they are a grand finals quality team. They have to prove it once again today.
ऐसे तो पूरे
Up
कंट्री के नाम
against
बता
probably the biggest Cinderella story run we've had in a long time.
I mean, poetic, right? Almost matching EG's run.
Very much so.
Could be the ones to gatekeep once more. Bit of presence shown outside C initially. Devi actually taking a ton of damage there. He's got to back away and respect this now. 22 HP. Not sure if it was confirmed on the side of Wolves, but it's something to consider as the round progresses. He's actually relinquished all control here.
रियाज में हो रहा रियाज
If it
का
carries on in this fashion, Wolves have got a lovely beginning, and obviously for Paper X, it looks like they want to try and clear some of those question marks. Work behind this. It's taken a lot of utility though. See the paranoia, the a lot of their kit got invested to clear that.
Big retake tools.
आज स्प्रिंग में मारेगा ब्रदर
Wolves rightfully so. Must have known that they found a point of
Super
weakness here, but
50p.
why you tapped into a lurk? Does it get dug out? Forsaken. Lazy clearance on the first hit. Next one up.
Yeah, look. One was fine, the second's ridiculous.
दो हेड
Now
मारा
they've got a
उन्हें वॉल बैक
comfortable post plant. Remember all that utility the Paper X put to clear out towards rubble. Now, not going to have it. Going to have to go back in, guns in hand. Nice from something, needs some more. A lot of bodies to clear just on the site. Wants to just cycle back up. See if that baby has got to. Oh, it's lovely from Wolves. A dreamy beginning. He's out of his chair. And a real statement of intent from Wolves here.
Convincing start to kick off Lotus, and these sort of set plays towards rubble, exactly what I'm talking about. When Paper X try and find the timing, it's a massive investment. It looks a little clunky, sure, because they don't find anything, but has to dig out players like Spring, potentially Lysor, somebody trying to backfill that space. Actually, even this scenario, YU, they did try and dig him out, but they said a lazy clearance from Forsaken, and Jing just couldn't stand up to the task.
And I do want to kind of highlight something that was discussed earlier in the day, the fact that these at one point have been scrim partners too. Some real awareness between these two sides. So I'd love to see if we continue to see this, these gaps being found, these moments to potentially find ways to pressure each other. So looking at this purchase, plenty coming up. A very light reinvestment here from Paper X, so just that Sheriff for Devi. Otherwise, well, classics. And so far, you're going to be looking at Wolves going through the protocol list. Mike Wright, try and keep it's clean. They can afford to lose Spring, but they probably wouldn't want to.
Sure, I mean the risk.
यूनाइटेड का मैच देखो क्या रात को
Yes, rounds versus Paper X are these anti-ecos. Spring, not good for the first here. Forsaken redeeming himself from round one. Only a Sheriff recovered though, so almost a calculated loss on the side of Wolves.
And again, it's huge information. You've seen maybe two, perhaps a couple more players over there. You're going to read that as a stack. And they've already got pretty much the green light and a very aggressive post-plant hold. They want to stake their claim in some area of this. Make it harder work for Paper X. Make them invest a little bit more. I don't mind that at all. As long as they play together, it can get risky. Oh, you want to lock in on that one. Easy now. As we're in a 2v2 and Juice is down low. This is the danger of Paper X. You're never quite out of the woods. Forsaken gonna get a nice little upgrade here too. Juicy's done really well to fight Jing, but Forsaken needs 4 to do this again. Unreal, unreal already. This sort of explosive play in the second round.
Like I said, there's always a threat in these anti-ecos for Paper X. We play up against some smiles on the stage, a sigh of relief. Fat BB, ever the hero so far in Toronto.
Player standing.
Able to bail him out versus Forsaken.
Oh,
I mean,
you're a lucky boy there.
Very, very lucky. Come back into this now with a broken purchase. See what? Opportunity here for Spring to do some work with the scope. Outside of that, YU and Lysor just down on pistols. And expect Wolves to maybe try and pick up a kill here on the back of some Paper X
सिर्फ पूछ रहे थे अभी का एक बोल रहा बुल्ले
And I quite like the conditioning early on as well, Mike. It's been this kind of constant lead through towards C, a little bit of a default straight through middle, but they haven't really tested this A side. So again, if you're Paper X, you're maybe starting to get a bit of a read into that as well, something you're going to start reacting to. Again, you look at the spread here so far, depending on just that Omen cycling those smokes. So a lot of pressure, but already re-clear comes in, doesn't quite catch YU towards middle. Batman wants that information.
Alarm bot though from YU posted up pretty deep. I think on the back of dealing with that, they're reading Paper X rotating away, so it might just be a committed B hit here. So Batman will be called upon. Forced away by the utility. He's found a tag through the smoke there.
Oh, but Forsaken gets involved. Nice damage on the first, but a good trade. The pressure now starting to mount.
Nice one.
Let loose the Paper X,
Nice
clearing out the B side. Sufat BB a little too late to the party.
Lama
Here, 25 seconds. There's a firing squad around that
1v3
This is Haunt in 10, but look at the timer.
Watchparty Dawn को सिखा रहा तू
And there it is.
Watchparty के
Comfortable
Tiger
in
को
the
सिखा
end.
रहा
Paper X handle that
ये
well.
मेरी प्रजा है मैं उसका राजा समझ में आ रहा
Fat BB
Balls
positioned as
gang.
the late round
Balls
piece
प्रजा
here. Was played out of this because
कितने गोरे रे
I'm sure it was a Juicy. It was caught on the reload here.
चिमटी काटे तो लाल हो जाते हैं
Really rough timing one. Yeah, I mean it's just nobody just comfortably can swing onto that angle, bailing out. Even there, I mean, see Fat BB another consolation potentially to find. Just didn't find it. Juicy already on the showstopper here, so going to see him ride a stinger into round 4.
अब मैं हाथापाई पाया तो नहीं तो
Expect too much of a pace shift here, but I mean, on the talking about early round protocols here, Paper X dealing with the turret nice and early here. That's a set piece out. Juicy's been shut down.
Oh, what a lovely little play to bring out the back of contact. It's stunning. And it's rewarded them 2 kills. This is that evolution to Paper X we love now getting to watch, right? It's not just that mechanical talent, that aggression. They have these little set pieces they like to run every now and then, and it wasn't overly complex. And that was a mistake. What's that? Catching them asleep at the wheel there, Mike. That's going to haunt them. And an overstep. Unnecessary. This feels like a fumble, Mike. Now, it looks like that might be the saving grace to this, though. Lysol has read it. Oh, he's down with him. This is a fumble for Paper X and a gutting one because it was a brilliant start.
2 players caught sleeping, and the spike is there as well. All they needed to do was reinforce that hole. But Wolves able to dissect that setup just outside C.
30 seconds left.
Actually find themselves a plant here. YU down 15 HP. We'll get the lockdown off this as well, you're right.
Reeling the house
as well for YU, but it's Devi wading back through towards the site. Problem is there's utility in the way. Gonna find it tricky. Position now given away, and you can see Lysol should be the checkmate. There's that layer of util from YU. Isolated and alone. And a devastating mistake there from Paper X. Credit to Wolves for re-engaging, but they cannot be dropping the ball like that.
Was it the timing on the smoke? I mean, this is exactly the sort of thing I talked about before this map started. Paper X being aggressive, picking apart this slow default and look for control, but here, I mean, both players, smoke drops, yeah. I mean, that's just...
But both, yeah.
That is outrageous to see somebody caught off guard like that. On top of the box.
And you know what? Insult to injury as well. They're up out their seats. Yeah. They're giving it. You know that's the ones that are going to tilt you. But back in, Paper X have a very strong mental. They're not going to break off that. Alex might, but they won't. So Paper X needs to kind of reignite a little bit of that focus here. You can't get lazy in this. You've got to stay lethal. Something. Nice to do a little bit of early work, but can be warded away, and we've seen these slower defaults coming out from Wolves doing the diligent work, right? They've been doing what is necessary.
We even hear damage trade-off that come out on top. Weakens something. See, the purchase is not there for Paper X. And Prowler will force something even deeper here. Sent through. Juicy's potentially going to be... Oh, actually, the TP comes across from Lysol, so they'll still have somebody to back him up initially. And actually, Lockdown invested here, fully respecting this anti-eco once again. They're aware of the threat. that previous round. Yeah.
You've got to. I mean, PaperX, you said it right. Those are the sort of rounds that sometimes they look the scariest in almost. But for now, Wolves finding stability here in the post plant. They've still got to keep it in mind that there is danger. Plenty through Waterfall. 4-1 split on the retake now. Juicy turns attention. Smokes great from them. Laban on the spray. Batman has got two. Maybe a chance. It feels like it's dwindling. These opportunities passing by for them. As it looks like 4-1 will be on the board. Not wait to see a timeout soon enough here. If something's on one. Gotta get locked in. As this has passed them by here. Silver lining, the best they can hope for as Wolves off to the ideal start. Mike, look, I know all of us have been enjoying this Wolves run. I think most of us thought this is where it probably ends. But you could argue someone said that about Gen G too. But
Yeah.
at 4-1, I'm paying attention.
I mean, I remember coming into that Gen G series thinking, if they can pull this off,
that's the one.
because they still effectively had a lifeline in terms of dropping. There's no elimination on the line. And even here now, it would be such a big sigh of relief to escape that once more.
Mr. Bean.
4-1 to kick off Lotus here. PaperX, I mean, you don't ever really humble PaperX. They will continue pressuring like this. An investment here from Forsaken, though, may lead you to believe it's a slower round. TP's actually stuck here, Lifestore. Bold in approach.
And that was pinged so quickly as well, it looked like. So aware of this, and whatever the set plan was, feels like PaperX read that.
Well, I think it's on the back of seeing 2 or 3 bodies swing out from B there that maybe they feel like the extremity is going to be the weaker side of the hold, but Forsaken shuts that down.
Patty, nickel.
Certainly not, but a 3v5, I want to see discipline from PaperX here. I don't want to see fumbles. I don't want to see mistakes.
Great isolation.
It certainly was. Now, Forsaken is going to do good chip damage as well. Look at CUFAT Baby down on only 26. Spring's position given away. Look where the spot. Oh! What is that? Ridiculous. And a 2v3 is not impossible. So they are just gunning it, right? They are running their little legs off straight towards C. They're going to leave one behind. YU.
Actually, the tap of the spikes. Drawn out the ultimate from Divide.
I mean,
Nightfall here from the plant as well.
Oh, the pathing. This is now getting really dangerous, but YU set up for motion, no. Divide, very diligent and nice from PaperX. They pulled it together there. You're starting to see a little bit of that synergy shining.
We are in the game,
as well.
still game.
Don't overinvest in this early round aggression. Able to peel away really quickly, and credit to Forsaken. I think potentially something up towards Evan. There was a couple of people charging out, like he said, instantly pinged. You can't really fault the approach here, but bold to stick a TP into the back lines.
And he got close, but I like seeing those fundamentals come together for PaperX though, right? Doubling up, even in that chaos of potential plant on towards that B side. No, they pop the ult, they still stay very close. And credit to Divide. I know it's only 1 kill, but him catching YU basically keeps them safe. Otherwise, it's this kill right here from Divide. I find that to be the most imperative of them all. Very heads up work. Maybe feeling they'd have tried to have left a player behind, inserted a player. Still not fussed though, apparently. Still chilling.
I mean, you got to be happy leading 4-2 here.
Yeah.
On the attacking side as well. Back to the drawing board though here. Well, as close to a full purchase here as Lysol down on the Guardian. Wolves, Forsaken actually tagged up there. I'm not sure if he's actually confirmed any damage on the side of Wolves. Activity once more as well, and active clearance out past Mound.
This could be nasty. Actually sees, and the pain shell is perfect! Jane gets out to
It's a 2 for 2.
How the hell did they get 2 back?
Could say almost favouring PaperX in that regard, but something going to be played in here.
Angles like that, this man hits those shots. Mechanically sharp as ever. He's trying to read what they wanted. Similar scenes to before though. See that and YU. Trying to work the map here. 2v3.
भाई ये तो मैं देखा नहीं 2 सेकंड के टाइम आउट सोचा मैं तो.
Okay, testing
मारा
Okay, that's
shot.
I mean, they're playing such high risk, Mike. It scares the life out of me sometimes.
Flash
20 seconds and a 1v2 Divine and Forsaken. Where are we off to now? 14 seconds. His options are so limited.
10 seconds left.
They're both here. Surely not. Yeah, he's got to go for it. No chance. Well handled by PaperX, closing in on the scoreline.
So you've got to look for that composure again, building up a little bit of a cushion in terms of the finances. That's where you look towards some of these more sloppy kills towards the end of the round. Again, Jing
30 seconds
finding
left.
2 here to open. Beautiful little trap piece outside B. Wolves actually going to be the ones to pump the brakes a little bit. I'm at round 8 again. Decent sample size, I guess, already in the first half here. Maybe a little bit of an adjustment towards the latter rounds. See, no purchase going to be available here for Wolves, so ideally looking towards round 9 here in terms of any game plan adjustment. And I guess actually in that regard, the first time PaperX have really been able to catch their breath.
It has been kind of in their face. Credit to PaperX for being able to learn on the fly. Again, this kind of like 6th and 7th round, obviously, have been the ones to give them the stability here. But I do want to see what the reaction is from Wolves. Again, it does feel like that almost no-go zone once you've got that Odin spam coming down. It's not as lethal as it could be. I mean, if you throw in a Viper with it, right? We've seen what that can do. But still, as it stands, it's kind of cut off those options towards A, it feels like, kind of pressuring back towards B, those C hits. But it's the re-aggressors from PaperX. Very little fear, even in those high-risk scenarios. We're a bit more used to it, I guess, at this point, and so will they be now. At 3 to 4, just Sheriffs.
Shit.
And a couple of classics.
I mean,
Plenty of ults.
bigger picture-wise, both of these teams have so many reps this year on Lotus. I think it's 14 for PaperX and 11 or 12 for Wolves.
Yeah.
So even if you're in the second half, I mean, if you come out with a lead, doesn't matter what it is, you've got to feel really good about yourself. Building some confidence here. Bit of a Cobra round 4 Divide, who's actually leading the board at 10 and 4, an early 3K, I believe, in one of the rounds.
Ooh, look at this stack. They're in the right place here, Mike. How far do PaperX go in this? Deep flash. Look at this outrageous approach. Oh, it's been
Wait, what?
absolutely weird. Jing gets backhanded there, and they couldn't close down on any of the kills.
I mean, 2 pings on the reveal. Not sure how much that box just sponged, but no damage.
Face your fear.
Coming through, it's only really Fat BB who's taking a hit here down to 35 HP. Nightfall might actually be a bit of a red herring.
How much can Patman be expected to do here? That's a huge ult as well, right?
Has to basically hit the
and
panic
Forsaken,
button.
wait, Forsaken! Oh, they read it so smart. As soon as that Nightfall caught how many? 4 players? Instantly went for it. Now, not to beat, Wolves 2 heads up for that. And the dust hasn't even settled, really. But the rotations are here. Device back over. He was solid before this nice high-low setup. Be very difficult to break. Well, not there. Paranoia ready. There it is. Forces them off. Spring. They seem so prepared for these holds. They've seen Patman as well. Position now given, and look at YU.
There's so much space to play into.
His lurk is so nasty. And at this point, they want to pivot. They want to go back towards B. It does put in towards something's hand. Spring. Oh! It's gorgeous from Spring. Lurks on lurks, but something still stands. Caught in between a rock and a hard place. Where do they go? Back towards C. Safety on that C site. You don't fancy walking into something like this. So the plant's in, and he's left in a 1v4.
Make an honest go of the C. You can see on the X-ray why you already wrapping him. He's got a turret here to play contact off as well. Might even just be able to pop something in the back of the head. No. We'll get the sound cue regardless.
Do something.
I think now relaying that information. Yeah, that comes through.
God, his positioning.
Yeah, this is just, again, probably sit back and watching this. Alex not going to be happy about this spray into the smoke with the Odin. It's begging somebody to walk on it.
Yep.
And Spring just comes alive.
And it feels like this was a whole book in one round, right? Chapter by chapter, at this beginning, the box apparently being on Wolves' side, and then you had the TP coming in, you had the Nightfall coming out. This all happened. All of this was in the same round. And again, that paranoia being just tilted up, it felt like they were so aware. There's the war from
Happens on a reload. So Forsaken fully committed towards that. They're both spamming into this. I mean, there's an opportunity to potentially bait into that. One person sprays, but something off rip here, round 10.
Timeout seeming to work well, at least for these early couple of exchanges, right? Something's want of space and wanting to play towards bound is fine, but you've started to see how Wolves are approaching this.
You never see PaperX really relent in that regard.
No.
They will continue, and that's where they catch teams off guard, where it's like, yeah, your aggression hasn't worked 4 rounds in a row. No, we're coming again, don't worry.
That 5th time, it'll work. And now we're seeing a bit of a tempo switch up from Wolves too. Very, very slow, holding him, waiting for that re-aggress, which is coming. And again, they're so prepared, Mike. They've got the PRX playbook and they understand it well. Still got to handle the players on the other side. Great shot from Batman, but it's traded. And the numbers simply so advantageous. A quick rotate off the back of, once again, why use space?
It's always the one to backfill these sort of plays.
Ooh, tricky. Still not easy on this though, is it?
No.
It's... Whoa! A shot! How is that fair? But look at once again, if you don't see him on the site, you know that he'd be looking. Instead he wants them closer. They need a plant though, 17 seconds, and YU on his walkabouts. Divide dead! And now the plant on the line though, Forsaken could speed up here. Punish the plant, but no, can't quite catch him! Spring again! Wolves! Beautiful mid-rounding here, Mike. This is stunning.
Blow for blow, this exchange is beautiful to just watch from the minimap. YU threading the needle once more. Oh, that's how he gets found. But again, it's a similar thing. PaperX, they lose one, they stack up 3 to actively re-clear that space. And ultimately, again, it feels like it's their demise in this round because of YU. Now sitting at 11 and 5, leading the board for Wolves. Almost the executioner getting plenty of shots to the back of the head.
Oh yeah. And he was impressive again. It's kind of, it feels like he came out of that timeout as well. They've clearly got a game plan in mind of how they wanted to approach this, and it's worked.
I mean, because they're reading it perfectly. Again, this scenario, First Blood comes through, they know PaperX are going to re-clear. So there's going to be 1, potentially 2 other lanes on the map that are totally open for YU to walk into.
It's very impressive to watch because PaperX are a really hard to handle team. You only have to look at the names they've taken down to get to this point, right? It makes perfect sense. Liquid, Sen, G2, I mean, they're a dangerous team. You know, if you want to talk about, all these kind of, intelligent teams, they play that, good quote-unquote Valorant. They've fallen for this, but Wolves have come in very prepared. Maybe just, very, very ready for PaperX, understand the tendencies.
Prepared, yes, but actually refining some of the things that we've seen them adapt here in Toronto, which is actually what's so refreshing to see, again, on a dream run like this, an underdog dark horse, but actually improving game by game. Upsets along the way, sure, but actually showing they've got their heads screwed on.
Yeah. It's very impressive. Now for PaperX, so once again you kind of go into the archives, right? As much as everyone likes to look at these guys as underdogs, they've had to rebuild. That is true. Bringing in Patman was fantastic. It worked. We've all seen the difference in their playstyle as of late. They're starting to look much, much better overall. These guys have sat in finals. These guys have been in champions finals. They know what this sort of pressure is like. They'll never be the underdog. So as it stands, they need to adapt here.
Just look what's happened here as well. On a player across, Divine now reconsidering, but Spring looking to pressure up towards Tree. Counter 3, almost caught one here.
हुआ मैं शायराना
So Ice Wars minimap, look what happens. Immediately PaperX the weaker side of this default, but pick up the pace towards A.
I like the intention, actually, I really do. But the problem is the stall out's fantastic from PaperX. Denying that space being taken freely, they're here quickly, popping the ult from something. Information galore in 25 seconds. We are now at pressure stations. Forsaken down on 30, has to respect the paint shell. A spray through the smoke here doesn't land, but something does. They're dwindling in numbers, Sufat, BB, and Spring, the last two standing, and they are cornered here. This adjustment from PaperX, divine! Stunning from them,
Right,
they worked it so well.
Now that is a beautiful recovery, considering what happened elsewhere. It was paranoia, showstopper, so much thrown towards YU. And in that situation, Wolves just kind of need to go, 1 for 2 in terms of approaching A site. They do that. PaperX still come back.
One enemy.
This is really nice for PaperX. Again, even seeing that discipline start to an extent, right? That dose of discipline at the beginning, the second contact's made.
A sprinkle of discipline.
As much as we're going to get. That's as much as we're going to get.
Kutta bhi
Honestly,
kutta
I
hai.
like that though. And again, those quick rotations, starting to read what Wolves are doing,
Pani.
identifying YU where he was.
Pani nahi
And yet
last.
the trap was there, but even those rotations coming in so quick. Back into the mix of things. A buy for both sides, still lacking for some areas on PaperX's side. You're going to see that Guardian still in the hands of Divide. And a stack up from Wolves. And on the other side,
Kasturi methi dala.
Sacred, not too far. A clear towards Mound. And
Already
then wants to
Kasturi methi
punish.
dala.
You can see they're starting to read this, maybe Mound pressure, trying to maybe toy with those expectations off of that Fade utility.
They kind of know Forsaken's the key stakeholder in terms of those set pieces outside C. Try to shut him down here. Again, beautiful read or assessment, I guess, of the previous situation.
And some people may look at these two teams and see them as just those mechanical monsters, but this is a really cerebral game so
Yeah, for
far.
sure, yeah.
Seeing these
Bottom
rotations
lane,
on rotations,
bottom
these
lane.
adjustments.
Arey gir jata re.
Almost. And now a moment of quiet here.
That could slow
Juicy.
things down potentially.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to kind of pre-take, I guess. And the plant's going to come in. Now this should encourage movement here. Just going to kind of eat the Prowler, still close range, still able to use the
Ah!
shot. Weapon's not right, and the knight's not ready.
Pike.
So a 3v3 in the post. Look at the position from YU. That is, coming in from Sufat BB. He is still on the way, but they've still got to slow things down. YU does well. Lightsaw still has to hold ground here, and now the silence becomes deafening. The position becomes questioned. They don't know where he is, but they're going to hazard a guess. Sufat BB does well on one.
No charges.
Draws to fire off the defuse. Just needs to keep his cool here.
Khatam gaya round.
Bring them down.
This would be everything for him, trying to play to the time, play to the tempo, play to the clock, and play him like a fit. Oh, see that, baby! Beautiful for the Red Bull clutch!
This guy
Chutta
time
banaya.
and
Acha
time
maza
again
aaya. Chutta
looks so
banaya.
composed in the clutch. And closes out a 7-5 half here, Lauren.
Kitna phir aaya re chutiya bana raha
Fantastic stuff from
usko.
Wolves.
This has
Sikki
been
kar
an
deta iske acha tha.
exceptional game so far. Just brilliant from both sides. And again, on surface, you may have thought, it's not going to be this really cerebral matchup. But this has been a wondrous affair.
One enemy.
Really has. That's any sort of taster here towards the second half. Don't go anywhere, we'll find out very
Yeah,
shortly.
we will, because we do have a bit of a treat as well coming up. We do have the one and only Mixwell standing by for us. So that'll be where we're going to in just a second. So I can't wait to hear from him. He's been in these scenarios. Let's see how that feels from the other side.
It's life. Something knows something.
Well, one of the perks of being here live during finals weekend is being able to run into legends such as Mixwell, who's co-streaming here from the venue now. Welcome back to Canada. You've been here before. What do you think about the crowd so far?
I think the crowd is one of the loudest I've ever seen, to be honest. I traveled to a lot of tournaments in VCT, so they are doing a great job.
Yeah, it's very exciting to be among them now. You have a little bet when it comes to Wolves. Can you explain it to everybody what happens if Wolves win this event?
I wasn't familiar with their game. At the start of the tournament, I said that if Wolves wins the event, I'm gonna go bold. So now I'm afraid I need PRX to win today, please.
Toronto, what are the chances do you think of him going bold? Come on, are Wolves going to win this event? Oh, it's not looking good for you, Mixwell. It's not looking good. Now, some of the players on stage, we've really seen their personalities. Sufat, BB, Forsaken, they're on their feet. They're hyping up the crowd. As a former player who also enjoys that atmosphere, how important is it to have that hype man on your team?
I think it's really important, especially when they are down. Some games, Wolves were down and Sufat brought Juicy back, for example. And I think it's crucial. I think that you have to play with the crowd, you have to enjoy the moment, you have to be in the moment. And Wolves, especially, they are enjoying it a lot. And a lot of people want to cheer for them as well because of that energy. And now I like them. Even though I might go bold, I like them.
All right, we shall see. I hope you can go bold at the end of this event. Thank you very much, Mixwell, for joining me. And let's see if PaperX can maybe save him in the second half.
चच्चा को क्या जोश है ये उम्र में?
The one thing I will absolutely agree with is this crowd has been amazing for both teams as well.
But the second thing I will say is actually referencing back something we were talking about in the cast the other day. We do see the econ report here from Coinbase. Again, very evenly contested first half here. Why are you the one to really pull ahead here for Wolves, but also Divide on the other side of things?
Yep.
But just to come back to that same point, again, the resilience. Juicy the other day, an absolute stinker of the first half.
Yeah, really
But
struggled.
again, the vibes never changed on stage. You could see maybe hints of frustration coming through, but that's where players like Sufat BB really pay dividends in terms of a team's mental.
I mean, we talk about the sixth man, right? Being that crowd behind you to get you back going.
You almost need a conductor actually from the stage to be able to actually channel that back into getting a team back online, and Wolves certainly have tapped into that here in Toronto.
All right, PaperX now on the attack, 5-7. Divide! Headliner! A big player in big games too. Don't forget what this man can do. 3 pivotal kills.
yes,
And a stark
yes.
reminder of who PaperX can be.
We dictate the pace now. You can't sit back in the default. We'll bring the fight to you.
Smart,
Now, why you in spring? Well, just why you left now. 1v5. An ace needed. The Jing going to shut down any hope of recovery. Kicking off the second half with a flawless round victory.
And you're right, I think what you said, controlling that tempo, making their fights their own. Hard to handle on all occasions.
PaperX are going to dial into that. And actually really, I guess, the Versus before of Wolves to kind of stabilize a little bit in the second half and really get to grips with what their opponent's going to try and achieve here. As again, no secrets on the way in from PaperX. Stack misplaced here, so your second successful approach towards A.
A खाली है, इल्ला B पे है.
Hopefully.
Read तो एकदम लंडे. Aim भी ऐसा ही दिख रहा है मेरे को.
Getting looked towards Divide here, 2 away from his ult so early on. I mean, that could be there for the bonus, right? Huge.
It was like, yeah, his third 3K or something.
One off
map
now.
so far.
That's brilliant. Massive the attack inside. That could be lovely for them to have in the back pocket. Something that Wolves will have to deal with.
Coming to your first buy round, to have that ultimate is brutal.
Huh? Nice shot.
Wow.
Guys.
A response found.
Easy, Tiger. We shouldn't get more dangerous than this. Stop it. Stop it. Jing and Forsaken keep this in control. Stop it. What has gone on? Forsaken left in a 1v2. Come on, Forsaken. Surely you keep this safe. Backpedaling away, trying to play the time. Never been this close. See that baby forced to move, but that got way closer.
Come down to a Red Bull clutch here. Just one rifle retained.
Now
You're almost relying on Devi's ult to be the turning point here. But PaperX are able to get the purchase together. Jing down on Judge, but I saw finding so much value here. Jing.
Okay.
Blood pressure check required for Alex.
We'll get the heart rate monitors out next time. Now, again, keep in mind they do have Devi's ult here. So this is something you've got to see them build around, be aware of. Quick little pain shot to try and maybe delay.
I mean, Wolves are just perfectly for this. There's actually nobody here. Yes. Entry found, but it's a full 5v5 in the post.
Sketchy timing on this. And it looks like something wants to try and hold this back. They're willing to try and brawl on the site. They're not sitting deep at all here. Something wants to draw blood. PRX still standing by. Oh, it's messy. And now there's an opportunity. PRX though.
Nice, Jing.
He'll give you a couple here. Beautiful from him. Now down in the 1v2. Incredibly difficult for Sufat BB again.
All day long.
The tempo shift here on the half certainly suiting Paper X.
ठहरो
Now on to the good 8-7, the scoreline. Can get this judge up close and personal.
Okay. Who's got
Jing 4 on the round for him.
Let's go.
Good progress towards the showstopper as well. Gonna potentially, what should. All right, let's have that for the next buy round.
मैं रुकने का नहीं है PRX. एसेंट में तो रुलाना है.
Down on a bit of a Kisko. No ultimates to their name. I mean, see Fat BB the closest, and well, actually, Lysor one away from TP, but
लिकर.
necessarily too impactful.
स्वी जा रहे लो Lysor.
Okay.
Oh, short spring उछाल
That's
रहा.
a recoverable weapon. No one else is here, so the game should be given away to an extent. Obviously now, the hit being noted by YU, trying to buy time, but it's hard to hold this back, right? It's a flood of players, full kit.
Nobody was watching, don't worry. We didn't see it.
But yeah,
We didn't see it.
All good, all good.
ठीक है लिकर भाई.
Paper X though got to steady the ship here. Can still get a little bit scary.
Feeling
Now
up a
Jesus
round.
does have that Vandal, right? Can they play him
Oman
in?
army.
The post plant is purely on the site itself, Mike. There isn't anyone sitting deep.
Well, I mean, he's got 4 sheriffs basically to rally behind here and try and make this rifle work. Found the first. Batman's fallen.
Okay, Divine now. Gonna have to do work here. See if that BB does well. Divine. Oh!
Yes.
I told you before, this man is a big player in big games, and he just had a hell of a lot
Let's
of
go.
impact.
दवाई भाई ace. आंदो.
Can you miss it?
आंदो.
One of the quickest aces I think we've probably ever
QTS
seen.
आंदो.
Look at this.
ले.
And they needed him. They needed this. It was all going wrong.
That is just
ले ले लड़ने.
beautiful to watch back. He's going through it.
Alex be like, yes, कैसे
They're
मार
getting
सकता
close,
है?
right? They're getting close on these rounds, getting a little bit scary. But the scoreline looking good for Paper
इसको
X.
तो मैंने IGL
9-7,
करने
a
दिया था,
buy back in hand for Wolves though. They have to stop
गए,
the rock
ये राउंड भी गया
fast.
लोग का. अरे जुज़ा गुज़ा.
This could be the round to find that response. But I can see you Fat BB's ultimate. This time around, obviously retrieve the orb outside C. There is a bit of a gap here with Forsaken, the solo anchor towards A.
ये लोग फिर से रोटेट करते क्यों फील आ रहा मेरे को?
Obviously, possibility here.
फिर से रोटेट करते रहे मेरे ख्याल से.
Second player actually to come across fairly quickly, but
Well, here comes the test. Batman. Don't know if that's going to reach. It does. So Lysor
पकड़ा गया.
draws the paranoia. Okay, counter on counter. They can't hear a thing here. Divide though, unaffected, unfazed. 35 seconds getting close now. The paranoia burnt early, and Lysor needs to be ready. There's still a lot of pressure coming his way. You're going to hear the ults coming out to secure the plant, but Lysor still does the damage. Can't do the dance though with Forsaken, and that's a beautiful catch from CFAT BB, punishing Jing on the push-up. And now the plant gets hindered. Problems now mounting. Spring at the door, and now it's just on Defy. Position noted earlier, they should be aware. But this man's dangerous, but not today. Spring's got his number, and Wolves back within touching distance.
so we needed
थोड़ा
them
इधर
to
उधर.
find a
कोई ना
response here.
एक एस क्या ऐसा चलता है?
Finally, stop that string of rounds.
एक एस ही तो गया. एस जाने का दिया. चलो चलो कोई ना.
Getting costly here on both sides. The showstopper shut down here from Jing, desperate to try and convert.
It's broken the money from Paper X too.
Yeah, it
You can
has,
see
yeah,
how
I mean,
close
it's-
these rounds have been.
It's not necessarily been a walk in the park for that string of rounds, but Jing looking to put this rifle to work. Start of round 18.
He's had a feel-good round not too long ago. Ooh,
Oh, look at that
yeah,
anti-TP
that-
sets up!
Oh, it's so sick! You think Wolves are just another team? They're certainly not very ready for what Paper X wanted to bring. Forsaken picking up what feels like the cursed rifle at this point. Just dropping hand to hand. Divided well last time in the scenario. Not too dissimilar to this, but not be able to get it this time. Yeah, handled. Wolves fully ready.
Something just walking into a blender. Was it both nanos actually into that corner? The alarm bot was there as well.
Yeah.
Obviously the vulnerable taking effect.
Second time.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the second is here.
No escape, really. God.
And actually, yeah, I didn't even. Yeah, Jing's forced into the line of sight as well. So
आपके सामने मौत थी
a little setup here.
उसके ऊपर सलाम बाकी
Wolves will actually get them the second round. Force a timeout as well from Paper X.
भाई अब ओवर हो रहा भाई मुस्तफी बीबी का
Required to stand on their own 2 feet now for the remainder.
भाई मैंने ऐसे सकते हो PRX
9-9
तुमला सेंडिनल स्कोर आए बोलते तुमला वर्ती ठे चलो घुसो पब्लिक
Keep thinking, oh, okay,
Final
Paper
में
X back to
घुसो
that
सीधा
4 in the row. You start to have Jing popping off. You've had Divide do it, you know, acing out. It looked good. But then these last two, Wolves never feel like they look like they're under pressure. It's always possible with them. That nice little setup, the last 2 rounds, very considered.
Find themselves in a really good position actually here in terms of defensive ultimates. They got 1 away from the lockdown, Springs 1 off the pit.
Oh, true, yeah.
2 more for Juicy to find the showstopper. I mean, yes, options on the side of Paper X, but in terms of this defensive ult cycle,
दो अल्ट
they feel really, really good about themselves.
दो अल्ट में इनला कुछ तो
Again, even with
कारनामा
that string
करना
of rounds
पड़ता
now, look at what's in the bank.
नहीं
for
तो
Paper
आगे
X.
वालों का नेक्स्ट राउंड
What's
4-4
behind this
अल्टाते मुंह
purchase?
पे अभी बता रहा हूँ
Even here, a
मैं इन लोगों
broken
को
purchase. If you look at some of the shields.
एज ए वेल विशर मैं बोल रहा हूँ इन लोगों को एज ए वेल विशर मैं बोल दे रहा हूँ इन लोगों को
This feels tense though, because this was the one from the timeout, right? This is one with the plan in mind for Paper X. Last check-in with the coaching staff, unless we get OT.
Wolves getting a little active here as well,
Hey,
actually.
off the back of a timeout, why not? A traditional reaction. Is Paper X aware?
मैं फ्लैश
Something.
आता
There's 3 players in that smoke. You may think there's 1, but will he expect all 3? Quick enough to find 1. Great paranoia from Forsaken as well. Do they try and go on the hunt from this? Oh, the TP's lovely. Big investment on that, but I like the idea behind it, taking a lot of space. But look at towards the site. Yeah, Juicy's still standing here, pops the ult, plays it well. Oh, catching Jing mid-air! You can't get away from him. Brought back to life before from CUBB, and now he's standing on his own 2 feet. Divide left.
नंबर का थ्रो कर रहे रे भाई
All on his own. Surrounded, and he doesn't even know it. You thought that TP might have cut right through him, it didn't. The Wolves still standing together. Fighting together, Divide does what he can. Put it up a stand, the Wolves taking the lead.
इको लेवल 9 लेवल खत्म है नाइस वन रिवर्स क्या खेल रहे हो आज
Executed to perfection here. You get a crucial trade from Juicy, but then to find the second, the showstopper comes through. That splash damage. I can't believe that even catches on Jing. Outrageous scenes here.
Are you starting to believe now? The way this half started, I thought it was going to go kind of par for course, right? What you'd expect. But the Wolves, once again, proving they are lethal about their business. So we go again. Money, not looking good for Paper X. It's Stingers, it's a Sheriff, it's a Bulldog. Brought together from the bargain bin, basically here. A little bit of chip on the way. Position now noted.
गुज़ाब क्या है मसला कुछ भी नहीं दो
Here. Still got C's and his Prowlers, but they are faster. His lights all
Nice one.
sleeping. Not expecting the pace.
Nice one.
Wild play through the smoke. Gonna find 2. The Springs down here. It gets a bit messy, but it's working out at least for now in Wolves' side.
Not great here for Pac-Man though.
Oh, do you really go for that? No.
He certainly doesn't feel safe to just stick the plant out, so they're waiting for something. Does have the ultimate here, but again, the 2v3 doesn't feel good.
And that chip on Pac-Man 2, they're starting to feel it. Something's going to have to go nuclear. Try and save the day, but none of these fights, these engagements are fair for him. YU does well, even Pac-Man with 21 HP, and not a prayer to be had. Wolves again now, round by round.
Wolves proof कर रही है अब तक खुद को
away from Paper
अब फिनाटी क्या आना पड़ता फाइनल्स
Hit
इन लोग घर आना
11
बोलते
here. This is
God.
getting into some really awkward territory now.
Yarix
Seeing
brother
this is effectively a force up here. Ultimates are plenty. Talking about some of those defensive ultimates here for Wolves. See how
बहुत खुश है आज
it lies here for Paper X.
Fuck Celsius बोल रहा
Take up the lion's share. Obviously, the round loss bonus is going to be a consideration, but could potentially face Wolves here on map point on a broken buy.
On PaperX's map choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
It all starts to compound here, but they're not there yet. 4 in a row, unanswered. Alt starting to build, money looking solid. We're gonna need a PaperX round. Gonna need someone to step up, and it looks like something wants to try and trailblaze his way forward. Good info, 2 spotted, and the rest now filling behind that.
So whether or not they were trying to set up for potentially a paranoia there.
Oh, the paranoia was fine on one, but it doesn't quite juicy. Still standing, still breathing. Forsaken gonna find the trade out towards Lightfall. Nice. PaperX unwilling to relent on the site now. Spring and what? Oh my God, what a shot!
Nice one,
Second Forsaken wants this.
चलो चलो एक ही बंदा है इसको थ्रो ना को करो बस.
This would be something special. But a lifeline for PaperX.
काउ भी है, याक भी है नहीं. याक क्या हो?
Jump spot towards
क्या नाम है
from
नहीं
Divide.
छोड़ो.
Time's been bought. Couldn't get the punish fast enough. And now they know the position.
Alt kiss दे मैं तो बोल रहा हूँ.
Should be the
कैसे
depth
alt kiss
of
दे
YU.
alt kiss दे alt kiss दे alt kiss दे alt kiss दे. alt kiss ना तीनों डिटेल
Not
आते.
giving him an in chip. Very well handled by PaperX in the end. They had to keep their cool there.
खुले मिला देते फिर से.
Almost a lifeline here in terms of the bigger picture. Brings it within 1. Not allowing Wolves to really sit back on their laurels.
Guys, जी को भेजो ना, भेजने को try करो ना तुम सब ना.
On that first kill, the paranoia almost setting things in motion.
Global sport भी जाना.
Forsaken just
Heroics there.
क्या कर रहा था? Hello बोल रहा था.
bulldozing his way onto
एक
site.
इंडियन टीम भेजो इतना मजा आता देखने.
Wolves
डर गया लगा.
late time
डर गए रे Wolves.
in the map.
Watchparty da इंडियन टीम
Round
बोलते कि.
22.
हाँ भेज तो.
Comfortable financially. So he's still got those ultimates.
I
Actually
will send one Indian team.
Juicy and Siu Fat BBs. Almost a stacked deck here in terms of this cycle.
एक इंडियन टीम आके है
Starts
dominate
looking a bit
करना.
scary, and that Jing's 2 away from his. Forsaken 1 off and 2 away from Patmans, but as I said, this feels like we're getting really.
Well, yeah, and again, you think about it as well. If you don't invest these ultimates early on, you never really get a clean 5v5 retake versus PaperX because they'll find a plant, but they'll also more often than not push towards spawn, try and find a kill, weaken that setup. So if Wolves do have any kind of set pieces around these ultimates, you're really looking towards Spring and YU to mitigate that risk and sit deep enough where
BGMI में भी अपने को source नहीं है international.
really going to be able to rely on it too much. But said PaperX, they're a team that reads into that sort of thing so well.
इंडिया खाली क्रिकेट टीम है भाई.
Probably going to see a
Hockey team.
paint shell. I imagine maybe a C's perhaps, who knows, but
एक गॉडल की वो.
seeing the way that
Bottom
PaperX
line
want to pass.
Well, first time actually the stars aligned for
Dominate करना डरना अरे
fight
इंडियन टीम आ
towards
रही
rubble here.
है.
God, this could be right off the rip. Here we go. Already paint shell comes in. C's not going to find it, but the reveal is fantastic. Juicy going to go down.
Nice!
Forsaken doubling in. This is lovely from them. See if Baby does answer back in kind, but PaperX aren't stopping. They
He's
want
gotta
the
go
site.
huge.
And yeah, it's beautifully done by
Yeesh.
something. Yeah, that's stunning.
Almost
Almost singular in approach, just banking on themselves.
I mean, what plant coming through with 120 left on the
बहुत
clock. It's
बासिर वाले अंकल.
a haymaker thrown from PaperX and it lands once more. Similar to those early rounds we did see in the second half.
This shouldn't be possible. A 1v3. It shouldn't be possible, and it isn't. Something in the end to add the full stop to that sentence. But it is 11-11, Mike. PaperX
पत्थर लगाना उन लोगों को.
but it's getting close here.
दो राउंड ना पट्टे लगा निकाल
Still
दो.
in place for Wolves. And you're looking at those ults, they become such a heavy factor, but this reveal was everything.
Lysor, unfortunately, still in the committed position. See Fat BB, unfortunately, I guess, was caught off guard by the flash.
Oni?
Tried to turn it, but
Recon.
even so, you connect that first shot. You've got three more members of PaperX staring you down.
आज मैं देख लिया. कल से Recon gun.
PaperX maybe feel as if they found the recipe here.
दोस्त के
Slower approach this time around. No resistance shown early on, at least.
सी पूछ दो guys. कहाँ के बैठा हुआ है सी पे यहाँ.
Exploration elsewhere. This is both YU and Spring though. Spring's going to continue pushing forwards. Might even catch Divine Spawn.
Yeah, Trying to almost sell this fake, but Divide completely unawares. They hadn't seen this sort of look before, but if anything, it encourages his approach towards A now.
Jing does have the showstopper as well, though.
Yeah, this is going to get tense. Both players stuck on the back of the side now. Ready for the swing, but not ready for the shot. Lights or hand is forsaken, waiting for the pop. And the Owen Jing's landed it. 3v3 now. Tension rising. Something holding the push through the door on the other side now. Nice from him. Man advantage and Plant next on the cards.
See the lockdown invested here. It's a 2v3. See the response comes through from Patman, but Paperx going to get to fight this. Wayu's found one.
Yeah, beautiful from him. They've got to react to it now. Something, it wasn't clean enough. And Jing, what do you do?
He's caught.
What do you do?
They can just stick it.
Yeah. I can't believe it. Wyu just has to hold guard. And for Jing, he just has to stand back and watch as the 12 gets taken away in the final hour of regulation. Wolves take the lead.
Yeah, the purchase going to be rough for Wolves, but they find that response finally finding the opportunity to invest the lockdown. I mean, it's another situation where you just see Forsaken again, just digging so deep. Jing hitting the drive-by as well. Zach killed one with a follow-up here onto something. One ultimately that can bail Jing out in that situation. They're coming into this though. Wolves still have a pit, still have a showstopper. Big tools to work with here in round 24.
Sound देखे तो जाता अंदर टिपी करेगा सारे पे भी इधर aggro.
The moment of silence will drop.
अब तो जुसी पे वो भी चलो जीजिए guys.
Paperx poised now.
पक्का जीजिए ये तो.
Once again, it's like actually a big info there. Catch him drifting away here, not necessarily looking committed. It being Jing, obviously, the tip of the spear on some of these set pieces, but Paperx are actually going to contact up.
It all feels like the calm before the storm.
Wolves almost scratching their heads here. They invest the pit over, expecting maybe that with that information, Paperx are rotating towards C.
There's the info, but are you ready for the hit? How do you play it for Lysor? Oh my god, he's going for the heroics. Oh! He went for the heroics and it worked out for one. Paperx now finds stability on the site. Into the post plant. Something playing a little further ahead. He wants a one and done and back away. No one's given him that yet, though.
Something again.
Time ticking.
Something मारना पड़ता कैसा भी.
This is good for them. Still ults in play though.
Something
Juicy has his. You've heard that invested. Flies on the site, but something does well. Gets one back. The showstopper doesn't work. Wait.
Yeah.
Lost and a trade for Spring. It's into a 2v2. It ain't over yet. You're looking at the post plant for Divide and Jing here. Can they hold on to this? Paint shell posted by some seconds. They needed to stay alive.
Nice one.
Divide digging deep, and they're not dead yet.
Let's go! Nice OT. Let's go. Go T. थोड़ा देर के लिए go T move में होगा.
Of course we see
let's go.
Overtime here on the first map of this series. An insane exchange here throughout the second half. Paperx is showing a brazen approach.
No fear.
Almost their trademark game plan here.
किधर गया रे बाबा?
The Wolves, I gotta say it, seemingly up to the challenge. Everything gets reset now for round 25.
Let's go, guys. You got this, guys. You got this, guys. Let's go.
Reset as well. I mean, Wolves in a perfect position to close out now, but back onto the attacking side.
The timing's going to be on this. They've read it. They've read it really well here.
Same piece we've seen previously.
And it worked out well for a 2-for-2 trade in the end, but this time,
nice one.
In unison. They're not going to let them even have a chance into this. Denied from the very word go. And Wolves want back in. They're taking the fight.
Let's go.
Can't do that. Paperx locked in on this. A 4v2. They should find stability, Mike. But Wolves look unwilling to back away. They don't want to go elsewhere.
They're expecting Paperx to rotate away from this and give up the space, but Paperx reading this perfectly.
4 second timing अच्छा
Still
पकड़ता
got
था.
both extremities controlled as well, so
It's so difficult. They need a freebie. They need something.
Nice one, Ray. Flawless है क्या? नहीं.
Looking sharp here.
Let's go.
Right place, right shots.
Let's go. Let's go.
Draw first blood. This set piece once more. At the back of the C's nade. This time around, no casualties.
और एक नेट फेंक
trade
देता.
found. Able to stick the landing.
तुम मेरे उसमें बजा उन लोगों किसमें?
Wolves had to call a timeout here. Ahead of the second round in overtime.
अब तो नहीं होगा ना.
Is mental here though, because they've been put through the ringer on this. Again, it's pressure on them more than anything, right? If you're Wolves, you've already done more than expected.
But yeah, again, usually with Wolves, you'd be talking about, you know, this unknown quantity and, you know, hard to read and stuff like that. The fact that we're talking about actually there is some familiarity between these two teams,
guys,
it makes it a little bit more interesting because we've seen kind of counters to both approaches.
Guys, ये क्या हो गया guys?
PaperX showing they're able to
इतना zooming
dismantle
कैसे हो
those
गया, guys?
defaults, and Wolves also looking as if they're very adept at dealing with early round aggression. And I'm with you on that one.
अब इसको कम कैसे करूँ मैं? स्ट्रीम पे ही होता है ये सब.
Again, you look at PaperX, they are a legacy team here, right? And they have that one destination in mind, that final stop.
Transform का है.
The Wolves standing in their way of that grand final. And it's down to the wire between these two. So we go again. Similar scenes. It looks
zoom
like,
कैसे हो गया?
It almost looks like rinse and repeat. Jing this time is fast. Oh, and he does get
It's
it.
a round.
Mysore has gone down. It looked a little laboured, but YU swings in. Oh, he gets a second. Hold on, PaperX held back here now.
को हो गया फिर से.
Spike just behind the wall as well. Not necessarily a comfortable push out here.
That's
for
both
Wolves
players.
to control. Yeah, Divine and Forsaken.
I have the spike.
Will be given an opportunity
2v3
to reset a little bit here, but find themselves in a 2v3.
Oh, I thought they were leaving Divide there. God.
Shadows traveling.
double है public.
So no paranoia. Going to be a little gap on a follow-up smoke here. Spark comes through. Juicy still got satchels. Spring still with a snake bite. So a couple of tools here at Wolves' disposal.
It's so tense now. You're going to need someone to over-deliver, and they do!
GG.
PaperX take it deep!
GG!
Can't stand! PaperX! It took so long to get there, but that legacy team holding strong on map one.
Hey, this standing pistol round, huh?
Why you never stand up?
Nice! Nice!
सारे दिन दिन साथ बिन. मैं पूछना ही नहीं फकीरा. मैं पूछना ही नहीं फकीर.
Zach killed one with a follow-up here onto something. One ultimately that can bail Jing out in that situation. They're coming into this though. Wolves still have a pit.
Put through the ringer on this. Again, it's pressure on them. But YU swings in. Oh, he gets a second. Hold on, PaperX held back here now.
को हो गया फिर से.
Spike just behind the wall as well.
Me watching me.
Necessarily a comfortable push out here
That's
for
both
Wolves to
players.
control. Yeah, Divine and Forsaken.
I have the spike.
पिच पे देख तो गाइस
Given
इस पे थोड़ा
an
लैग दिख
opportunity.
रहा पिच ही चोपी है अब बोलना मत लिखो कोई भी तारे दिन दिन साथ मेरे अरे तुझे यार गाइस अपना करियर कहाँ तक गया देखेंगे आओ सनग्लासेस चलाएंगे डिपचिक 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 डू आजा न पियो आओ न पिया ऐसा न जिया तो कैसा है पिया 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 आसमान में उड़ रहे घोड़े हाँ जी सुना रही विंग के जल्दी आ जा नहीं तो तेरी गान मार दी जाएगी इतने सारे हैं हाँ मिल गया है आ जाओ ना ऐसे कैसो को मैं हाथ भी नहीं दूंगा गाइस छी है दही की टेस्ट आ रही है मस्त मजा आ रहा है नेक्स्ट मैप भी ऐसे ही हो जाए मजा स्टफ और फिनाटिक और उसका मैच तो कैसा होता है गाइस खुले मिलाते हैं मेरा कैमरा है क्या हुआ मैं शायरा बल्ले बल्ले ओ बल्ले बल्ले ओ याहू याहू 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 Oh yahoo yahoo! Oh yahoo yahoo! Woo! मजा आ रही क्या पूछ किया इसमें है ना फेस क्या होना बोल के मजा आ रही रीस्टार्ट मैं कट मारा आंदे ले लिया जाने दे जाने दो इसको मुझे रहने दो ऐसे कैसों को दिया है थोड़ी सी तो लिफ्ट लास्ट टाइम स्टार्ट हो गया मैच स्टार्ट हो गया हुआ आगे देख के चला ना गलत रास्ते में आ रहा ये मेरा रास्ता है NephopAnshu का यहाँ से कोई नहीं आता Fuck! No shortcuts. क्या हुआ इसको? Let's go.
We're highlighting how well Wolves was doing
Break
from their attack with those executes, how good the utility from Lysor is in that agent.
I really like their deadlock, in particular on the attacking side. It's another map where they play super slow, just like you were watching on Lotus. But what they do well here is putting down their Sentinel utility on space they take, then resetting as a team and clearing elsewhere. So they're kind of putting down these little checkpoints to save parts of the map they have. And then being able to call back into that really late. I think a lot of teams miss out on those little details with juggling the Sentinel utility. They're great there. It's the same on defense. To me, this feels like a really strong map for Wolves to bounce back.
Yeah, I like the way they chop up the map, right? And really give themselves, like you said, a lot of these openings. The thing is, though, is that we have seen now a couple times Paperex kind of feed the beast one too many times here. And I think with Deadlock and the way that this team can play this one, Mimi, this could be quite problematic for them if they're not careful and checking their P's and Q's.
For sure, yeah. They have to be on point with taking calculated risks, but definitely paid off in the first game here. Let's take a look at the Kahans and Paperex locking in that jet for now.
Oh, they're going back to something, you know, more standard in this case. They've moved away from the Gecko and the Race. I had a feeling that was going to happen, but I love, Mimi, the fact that they're sticking with this double controller and the Viper.
I really like the Viper comps on this map. I think they've always been strong on defense, especially but this is much more sensible in terms of the rest of the utility. You're going to put a lot into something. I'm looking at what he can do with the AWP, starting on this defensive side, and what protocols
So
Wolves have to deal with that.
Another player that we have to look at is Patman. Very quiet performance in the first map, something that is very, very different from what we've been seeing for the rest of the tournament from him.
Yeah, and he's going to have a lot of responsibility here because I think like you're going to want that KO maybe to try and like flash a bit with the deadlock there to prevent that utility from being a bit of a problem. Try and sniff those things out. He's going to have a tall task ahead of him without a doubt here. Curious to see how this one plays out because really it feels like both teams are doing their homework coming into this.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, I think that we also need to look at Forsaken. I think that one of the things that PaperX have to take great care of, number one is YU, because he's going to be most likely the one that is playing outside of the pack, and that could bring some, break some.
चश्मा ये भी चढ़ाएगा शेर नहीं देख रहा तो बंदी छुआ तो बोल के
YU, because he's going to be most likely the one that is playing outside of the pack, and that could bring YU, because he's going to be most likely the one that is playing outside of the pack, and that could bring some, break some.
सारे दिन साथ में
Of Wolves that like to wait so much, and that is why I'm looking at this players to focus on.
All right, well, it's time now to get ready for map number 2. Toronto, you want to see a map 3? I said you want to see a map 3, Toronto! Let's send it back over to your casters who very much want a map 3. Here's Pansy and Hypod.
And you But what a wild ride it was to get there. Now on Ascent though, Mike, has this changed any of your expectations?
I mean, you look at this, really, the upset would have come from Lotus for me. If Wolves could close out here, PaperX struggled domestically here on Ascent. They obviously have the loss to Genji previously here, sorry. So this is the opportunity now for Wolves to get back in control of this series and force a third, because Split should be an absolute barn burner.
Please, look.
Always delivers, man. A Split decider, always.
Oh, God. Okay, well, let's see if they can get there first. For PaperX, though, in their minds, there's always been one goal, and it's the grand finals, right? This team put together, went back to the drawing board to rebuild.
There was a great line from Devi, I think, in one of the interviews, talking about every time he sees the champs LA finisher in-game, it haunts him. A couple of them actually just saw them brought up on map 1.
So again, you've got to have been starving to truly understand hunger, and for PaperX, they've never really got that first place. Not when it mattered, so for them, probably the best chance they've had in a minute's time, but still, it will be Wolves on the attack. PaperX on the defending side. Something tries to stake his claim towards middle, but will be warded away.
Back on the Sheriff actually here, Juicy with a flash. Close and personal, sure, actually Forsaken caught on the retreat back.
Yeah, maybe not thinking trying to fill that space yet, but there is still 2 players on this side of the map for PaperX, so Patman's still here. Jing's still on this side too.
4 seconds.
Slow and steady again for Wolves. And it looks like PaperX wants this
4
back,
seconds.
it's just going to end up being a ball, isn't it? They're ahead of the smoke, but what's the util on the corner? There isn't any. So Jing and Patman do really well. They traded effectively though. Wolves keep the man to the good, and they get the sight for themselves.
That's the good, something down to 34 HP as well. But
very stupid idea.
Sheriffs
you turning back
on the side of PaperX here. Could pack a punch here on the retake.
लगा दिया चूफा.
For a spam, that's the exchange back and forth. Still got a time to play here for CUFAT BB.
That's lovely. Gonna have to keep themselves tucked in on this. I think both potentially spotted, and that was huge for this. Something can't
something
get the shot. Off to a great beginning. But again, for Wolves, you got to make it work on these attacking sides.
Absolutely do. Talked about that being the main objective on Lotus. He did deliver.
One enemy remaining.
To repeat it here once more.
ठहर गया नहीं ठहरा नहीं ठहरा अम्मो
Can't get that.
In night
building, as you mentioned, what he can get done with the operator potentially on the defensive side, always a factor on Ascent.
Right here.
Wolves have the tools to really prevent that from happening. Fairly invested here on round 2 as well. Respect being shown to PaperX. It's only spring on a Sheriff. Bulldogs across the board. Actually, with that round one, Sufat BB already halfway to the Hunter's Fury as well, so looking for further progress potentially.
But again, a reminder of that last map too. These rounds aren't free. When it comes to that second round, even if it's just a Sheriff, even if it's just classics, PaperX will make something out of it. For now, though, again, it's a considered approach from Wolves, taking their time around the map.
ट्राई हार्ड कर रहे क्या रे
Doing
इसमें
their
भी
due diligence.
पिस्तौल में भी
And
मारे तो गुस्सा तो था डबल 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 दबा के
on that here.
आपको मुंबई सर ने ट्राई हार्ड बोल के लिख
Deep horn over towards B, you should have seen on the mini map. Pretty indicative of the zones
सेकंड
there.
राउंड अगर तुम लोग जीत के सेकंड राउंड है तो 15 मिनट में 15 सेकंड में खत्म हो जाना चाहिए वरना तो नूब्स बोलते हैं मुंबई सर्वर में मेरे ख्याल से इल्ला भी थोड़ा
30 seconds left. They need to find progress somewhere.
जिंग 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 गाट जिंग 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 गाट जिंग 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 जिंग
Laboured, but Wayu comes out on top.
Yeah, the paranoia goes into sight, so they should be able to kind of springboard through this. Unless someone walks to smoke, now you can't. Now you're held back. It feels like the anti-PaperX, doesn't it? But they still find a way through.
क्या है रे मार की गिरगिरी
Up and over the top, but at this point, the plan's going to be very difficult to find much surprise, even ahead of maybe that deadlock util. You've got to be cautious. Again, you can afford losing one player, that being Spring. The rest you don't want to lose, and YU took a risk, but he should be fine here. Yes, stability looking good. Sufat BB going to be building very close to that ult, and a lovely round in the end from Wolves there, Mike.
Initially, Sufat BB did have the spike, but
PRX बदला चाहिए brother
still fantastic progress made.
I got scared here though.
Very, very worried, yeah. And the Bulldogs sometimes can be a little hard to tame. Sufat BB not having that shield in that regard. Sticking the spray. Now, that purchase.
मसला हो गया guys
upgrading as well.
PRX की आवाम सुनिए
Doable here for Wolves. Actually, 2 light shields on the side of PaperX as well for something. And Forsaken.
They're fighting on every front though, PaperX here.
अगर समथिंग एक किल मार के आया तो कुछ होता ना तो नहीं होता
Does burn some of that early util for Wolves though, so there is that, and they're really committing the paranoia on that too.
Cover going out.
Spring on the opposite side here.
If Spring even comes out positive in any of this, it would be incredible for him. Because in the meantime, look at where the spike's going, Mike.
Better planning it.
Show presence, or something actually. Forsaken's walked all the way up as well.
They don't know about Forsaken. Oh,
Shot!
It's a quick beheading.
बस ना फिर क्यों?
And it might be the green light to go towards B. Still a player to hold his divider down low.
Nice one,
Still
Dava.
standing and still breathing on 35. He takes YU out of the equation. Now starting to flounder a bit. You can see it with Wolves. This was only their bonus, but still struggling to find the landing on this against the 4 remaining from PaperX. That's going to be dealt with. You look at that mid lurk coming into effect too, but that's not going to find the value they want. And yes,
Nice
something clean within. Light Source still making something of this. Spring still got his paranoia. If he can get through here, oh my god, it's risky off the back, but still. And now the smoke dissipates on. Oh! The smoke going down on CT opens up chance here. Divide tries to find that second before the paranoia lands, but 8 seconds now. Stop it, Wolves! One by one, they are taking down PaperX, and Jinx seems unaware of the possibility of Spring being so close.
Throw कर रही PRX की आवाम
How do you divide and conquer this? I do not know. But all eyes drawn to that potential in the smoke. Jing steps forward, smoke goes down, and Spring finds him.
Throw कर रही PRX की आवाम throw कर रही
Conversion on the bonus here.
हम कह रहे हैं इस राजा
Bulldogs.
राजा हम कह रहे हैं PRX की
Come
आवाम
out with a win to catch this kill, but not just that, the information that Wolves
हम दुखी है कि हमारी राज्य हार गई लेकिन इस प्रजा की तो कोई संभावना ही नहीं है जीतने की फर्स्ट मैच जो जीते ये तुक्के
pays
जीते
off massively for Wolves. Get themselves the
जीता
upper
हुआ
hand
राउंड
here
पिक
to
पिक
kick
दे
off
दे
map
एक
2.
पिक दे दे के
I'm
मर
waiting with bated breath, right? Because that's a huge start for them. Because I feel like once you get PaperX on the attack, they come into their own, right? Able to control the tempo, kind of do what they please. But if you can stake a good claim for yourselves, the opportunity's yours. Why you? Quick reminder, the PaperX are lethal no matter the weaponry. And that is going to be an upgrade for something. Might pass that over depending on the shield situation, but still, good stall here.
Oh
And
yeah, drone cancelled.
massive. Patman. Is he going to get to live here? There's a lot of targets that all could be sent towards, and yeah, grabbed. But Divine, in the meantime, going to take down Juicy. Hold on, this is not completely secure by any means. They're in a 3v3, sure, but look at the HP of Lysor.
डेडलॉक लैंड काम
Does
आता
have his
होगा
ult,
सोच
but I don't think he can get away from that default
ऊपर
plant
चढ़ा
spot.
रही
So Spring waiting. Now sees that. Forsaken, are you aware? Going to be held up back
पट्टे
towards
ऊपर चढ़ा
heaven.
रहे
Two
होने
players
दवाई
will focus towards short. Nice from Spring, but he goes down. And now something and Divine need to come together in this. Somehow figure it out. The deeper off angle from Lysor was lovely. Leaving Divine. What a shot! You
हो
got
जाए
one more of those.
हो जाए क्लच
You've done it before. You had the ace before. The man is a monster, but he's got to prove it now. And see if that BB has been ice cold in these. He knows the time. He knows the tempo.
let's go दवाई
From Divine though, a belting shot, and once again,
राजा खुश हुआ सेंटिनल्स का राजा खुश हुआ
The Red Bull
सेंटिनल्स
clutch
प्रजा
here
का
for
राजा
Divine.
खुश हुआ
Continuing to deliver
आपको
here
हमारे
today
दूर
in this
दक्षिण
series.
दूर दक्षिण आपको
down.
मुफ्त
Just give the man a sheriff.
आपको भेंट दिया जाता है
Another three-piece for him to add to the list. It's rough as well, the reset again. Default plant spot safe initially, but
दवाई कर रहा हूं मैंने
position from CFAT
ऐसे ऐसे
BB
ऐसे
to gamble.
मैं सब नहीं करता
Get a
गाइस
cheeky half
मैं बहुत
defuse
सीधा
in or
इंसान ऐसे ऐसे
you can go ahead and stick it. It forces the hand, especially with the recon bolt being used so early on.
Now they start pressuring the point. Look at that deep line. It's already
तेरे
adopted
गाने
by
सच में
something.
डंडा है रे माइक
Sit towards that. Prowler going to be clearing. No one nearby now.
My ult is ready.
And the ult gathered too. So a nice early step, but a fast mid take coming out from the Wolves.
मारे something
Potential to backstab this. I think they're reading into maybe some deep presses. Yeah, we'll catch the backside of something
Oh,
for sure.
that's two.
And the second player,
Ooh, that is bravery. Why are you swinging that? Forsaken doubling down. It's a mistake and a punish is why you will lap that up. And now that B-side looks so vulnerable.
बाबा ओ पैथनी
Flash will guarantee the cross. Juicy's going to find Divide as well.
Gone,
So
Baba,
that
gone,
might
map.
just be
Spike planted.
the white flag.
Balls will happen now.
Paper X here to hold on to these weapons.
this map is gone
No point feeding into this potentially with Juicy. Getting close to that ultimate. Spring's actually already on the hunt.
Shadows
He wants to
this map
prevent
is gone बाबा
any semblance of safety here for the remaining Paper X players. He's going to pick up a deep position in spawn though. There's still maybe a question mark if they're in towards market or in towards spawn. Well, they will progress any further, but yeah, usually talk about discipline and that was a lack of respect to something.
Yep.
Yeah, did he even get a shot off? Why he was just so quick to that?
Yeah, they seem really aware. Again, this kind of, it's not necessarily that regional matchup
Na hota
at
ab
all,
to.
but, you know, scrim partners and the information on this ahead of that swing, it was really well dismantled. Again, Forsaken's fault as well, just felt it was too late to be going for that. There's no trade to be there.
It's the drone that's come forward. You're not just swinging onto one. Again, it's almost unexpected.
Yep.
Deal with
Praja!
want to post something on a much deeper sight line.
PRX हारने वाली है प्रजा
as well. So it's actually Wolves that have the upper hand.
प्रजा ये राजा की बात
There's a
सुनो
question mark for Paper X actually. Who's behind that? And the punish. Unfortunately, there.
PRX की प्रजा
4-1 deficit.
सुनो PRX की प्रजा
There's a purchase.
इस राज्य में दुख ही है
Yeah,
कि हम सेंटिनल्स हार गई
want to make a play for an orb
लेकिन
here.
इससे भी ज्यादा दुखी होगी
Offset
कि
that
PRX
slightly.
प्रजा भी हार जाए
It's Forsaken to be riding the stinger coming into this, but already a fantastic start for Wolves. Looking composed.
Yep.
As well, just hearing from Faye talking about how much actually
तारे गिन
those
गिन
days off
साथ
have paid off because they've had. Obviously, with the comeback in Gen G, the
मैं कुछ
resilience
नहीं
shown,
हाल
that takes a lot from the
फकीरा
team, even if they're all smiles and on their feet on the stage and stuff. Behind closed doors,
You're
no
feeling
doubt, yeah, no doubt that reset absolutely necessary to continue here in Toronto.
Yeah, spot on. So for them, it is now just how long can you keep this up? How
Don't
clean can you
getting
keep
my
this game?
boy.
They broke so far with that one round, but of course did have that timeout. You can hear the ults coming through as well for some.
Watch this भी आ गया. Don't getting my way भी आ
have
गया.
their number on this B side, but it feels like they're getting the right read here. But you're going to go through the.
और आ गया कि क्या आने वाला है?
No, brave enough to go for the ult orb, but that's about all she wrote. But that mid cross is dangerous now.
Eco में क्या सोच के लिए लगा ये सब?
Pop the knives. It's not necessarily looking like as bad a situation here for Paper X.
I must wait a
They
moment.
try and navigate their way round the pit.
Looks like it, right?
There's a TP back here from Juicy to potentially collapse on
मार
this side very quickly.
अरे something random भाई. Something भाया.
Can we just like
Something मैं आपसे आशा करके लंडो में.
something twice now? He's been
मैं
outswung.
चूतिया हूँ.
If you don't think these wolves are gunners, you are absolutely wrong. But now they've manipulated the map well. Now they want to maybe hit that cross back in again, and this is where those stingers are going to start suffering. You're not in the right place, but Jing's still going to hold his ground. Paranoia primed and sent down through. Tries to escape, and he gets out at least for now.
Nice one.
Patman's found Light Story, he's got support. Spring, oh, see that BB, they're just flying it towards
Let's
him.
go, 1v1. Let's go! Let's go, Batman!
How's he just got 4 there?
Batman ही कहते हैं. Batman
himself
X.
in a deadly
Batman
position
Batman
and
अपना.
delivers here for Paper X.
I need to watch that one back.
It just jumps down, able to get behind this so quickly.
Spike down mid.
3 मारा.
Beautiful stuff from him.
The heavy machinery.
No semblance of
देखो, परसों
comfort
मार
back
के
in the
खाया
coach booth whatsoever. Operator back in hand now for something. All stacked up in mid now. The smoke.
Something
obscure
पट्टी आपसे एक भी किल नहीं आया अभी.
for the time being.
मेरे से बुरा कोई ना होता.
So Juicy going to try and pave the way. Actually, Red's it round
ये
the
डर मुझे
corner
अच्छा
there.
लगा.
And something seems unafraid at all, and he gets out of danger. Trying to combine it with that Hunter's Fury, but it finds no value
ये
really.
डर मुझे अच्छा लगा.
And now
Nice one,
Forsaken
Batman.
stands his ground.
Forsaken.
This feels like it's fallen flat here for Wolves. Paper X getting a good read and a good idea. It's going to need a hero to stand tall. Spring's done well on towards Batman. Doesn't expect to buy. So
हाँ और एक smoke दे ले.
great trade for Divide.
चल चल दूसरे मैप के लिए भी स्प्लिट के लिए भी अभी दे दे.
Juicy and CFAT Baby in the 2v4, Mike. I mean, it would be a tilter.
I mean, they should find a straight 2v2 on either side here, but the issue being something is posted up. The operator. Again, not many tools left to. Actually, no, I haven't said that. Recon and Juicy with a full belt almost.
They've sent for the fake, I guess.
30 seconds left.
A nice idea.
हाँ स्प्लिट का दिया. एक का
But
थोड़ी
it's not
दिया.
going to dissuade these players. They don't need to move.
And
Paper X can sit in this formation now, and I think actually Wolves.
Yeah.
So they don't get a bite.
पूछ नहीं साल तरीफा.
I mean, YU
Save कर
450,
रहे?
Spring
करो, करो, save
1350, and
10
Lysol.
seconds left.
Something A पे ऑफ कर इस बार. क्वाड्रल मारता तू क्वाड्रल. A पे मारा तू. ट्रैवल मारता. क्वाड्रल भी नहीं ट्रैवल.
Their third. Keep things honest in the start of Ascent. Let's see how the ultimates play here. It's only a TP for Spring, and as you can see on Paper X now, absolutely nothing and a million miles away from anything, to be honest with you. So a slight advantage in that regard, but it's not much. I mean, Lysol going to be potentially the next key ultimate for the Wolves.
I've got to say as well, for me, good start seeing Patman find a bit of impact too. He's been a really good player for them.
Yeah, a quiet map one as well, so seeing him come online, certainly a positive.
Oh, Forsaken. Got the bit of spacing and trading from Juicy just to swing that. But the next layer to this is still something. There's no pressure towards middle, but he's very paranoid about it. They want in on this. Still not noting him. The stall's there. If they try and disrespect it, it's going to be brutal.
Shot!
And it is. Yet way too difficult on the way in. Juicy, what is that?
One
You're
HP
1 HP. You're not meant to be doing this sort of stuff. And now Spring left in a 1v2 as well. So unwilling to deny that that scale up towards B was their right idea.
They're wrapping the spike as well. Both Jing and Something
He's got his paranoia, smoke, TPs. He's got a bit of kit here to play with though, Mike.
He's left
Read
guessing.
Neos को.
They're fast
Potentially,
at this.
yeah, going to get himself a clean plant.
Shadows traveling.
With the smoke towards CT, kind of implies he's not expecting this
दोनों
wrap.
साथ में खेल रहे थे.
Certainly does. TP should be noted too, that paranoia. What do
Oh,
you
now
do
he's
with
going
it?
to know.
Yeah, a little interested on that, but the corner. And he's going to take a stand on that one. But it felt like Wolves were so headstrong in wanting to hit towards that B site, but the scaling up just didn't feel right there.
Initially, that first kill was a Forsaken. Yeah, Forsaken gets caught here with the flash.
Revealing area.
Again, you look at the minimap at that moment, and there is a huge gap
आज मेरा
in
जो
the Paper X defense. So happens. I mean, Juicy picks up a little momentum, but
One
that
HP
kill there,
down,
he was down to
कहीं
1 HP,
Standing.
and the shorty connects from here. Just as the door is about to close.
वो something 3 मारती के ठहरा मो तब से चुपचाप बढ़ा था इन्हें.
Potentially
Sure
stealing
is
that
something.
post plan for Wolves, to be honest with you.
Dirty plays,
Yeah.
huh? Something by.
Felt like it. And now Wolves starting to run dry, it looks like. Again, when we're talking about these sort of big stage games, it is that level of comfort on here when you're under the gun, because yes, they did lose out to, what was it, Sen early on, but beyond that, they've not really dropped a map for Wolves. They've been on that kind of momentum run. So now they're starting to hit that brick wall, right? You kind of expect it in towards these sort of games. The caliber just keeps increasing. I want to see how well they do in this. Obviously, they did great against Gen G. That, to me, was the tick in the box of authenticity.
Yeah, almost a turning point.
Yeah. Like everything else, I feel like, okay, maybe people underestimated them. Maybe they...
Yeah, because you have that
know.
step up again for playoffs where it's like obviously the stakes get raised, and we're not talking about elimination for Wolves, but certainly the caliber increases, the pressure definitely correlates with that. And then you step into a series versus Paper X. Talk about Gen G being an international titan, but
Paper X, I mean, God, I said it
need no introduction when it comes to the international stage.
Truly not. And again, I think that because of their lack of, you know, let's say international trophy, that there has been that worry about them, how well they do, their expectations, but they are still a grand finalist team, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
That's just something that doesn't even need to be said half the time. But at this point, they've course corrected well. They've got everything back to where they like. Something, he's going hunting. He knows where the man is.
Yeah, Cam dealt with quickly. You can see on the minimap as well. The situation developing outside A side. Knife giving that info across. Really juicy with a rifle here, and all of that if you may.
This feels very classically Paper X as well, but a dangerous position for Forsaken. He could get outswung here, and he is on his own because you saw the rotation move coming out from something, so times it well to back away, and that C's obviously giving it a couple of seconds and actually plays back in something. You don't often see fights this deep on the map, but welcome to Paper X, I guess.
Yeah, Paper X just don't want Wolves to sit back
Deadlock ult मारती.
and set up here, preventing any rotation back towards the B side of the map. Pac-Man still commanding this space, and actually Knife will reveal everything if he threw it.
I mean,
Probably still knowing exactly what's going on.
Yeah, look at
this.
30 seconds left.
Snake bite and the fragment.
Oh, this is an awful sight to have to try and approach. Basically dry at this point. Yeah, Juicy still going to get Jing down, but... Okay, guys, you were primed for this. And Divine looks like he's trying to do everything himself. What on earth is going on here? Something that's unfair. That's a bit of bullying, but I like it. 5-4 now, tipping the scales on their side. And I've got to say, Wolves looking a little bit shaken by this.
Yeah, and I guess, I don't want to say lost for answers, but unable to really troubleshoot with some of these approaches that Paper X are displaying here on the set. Juicy, again, good for 2 on the way in here.
Yeah, surprise.
A moment where Divine can't pick down the spring.
Paper X Watch Party loving that one, but 5-4 we go back through. Buyback in play. And it looks simplistic in approach, it looks direct, and something looks to turn this operator into a shotgun. I mean, he's feeling himself here. It's a really risky play. It's now been... Oh! Great target selection. Catches Sufat Baby just in towards the outro. And he's still standing. He looks like he wants to absolutely pop off here. And he is. One by one they come. And
Something he kya de.
can he find that final man as well?
Something he kya de.
Looking to try and take towards the site.
Wani chere.
Something's been dominant about this so far. The double swing. Position noted. Something's going hunting. Hungry for his 4-3 already in the round. There's not much to be done for YU here, Mike.
Especially not now.
Already
solid idea of where he's at. PaperX want to decisively close out round 10 here.
No escape. Nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. Something gets his fourth, and he is just getting scarier and scarier as the game goes on.
Like they're channeling into that 6th gear. Putting up now 5 rounds unanswered for PaperX. Oh, did
It's all good and well to have those Cinderella runs, right? And it's why we love them. They're such fun to witness. But the reality is normally that fairy tale falls short. There's been very few occasions where it's gone the whole distance. You could argue EG at Champs was probably one of the only ones that ever made it.
The outlier, yeah.
That is it. PaperX have been that fairy tale run in the past, but they never quite made it themselves. For Wolves, they have to face that reality now. How bad do you want it? Do you have really what it takes to push someone like PaperX away from something they are singularly focused on? That grand final is what they want. Jing, gonna draw blood, it's beautiful. Gonna draw blood, it's beautiful. And Juicy not getting what he needs there.
And a tag or two, but
happy with
that. Something will follow up here. YU will fall. Now, actually, reaggress here, but PaperX will correct.
Yeah,
just see Fat Phoebe now.
They're making it hurt, Mike.
And this is when it's rough to play against PaperX. They know when to keep on pressuring. Don't allow you any say in the round. When you say in the half as well. That's 6 now. With no response.
Weighing on the chest for Wolves. It's still a manageable scoreline. Weighing on the chest for Wolves. It's still a manageable scoreline.
Absolutely,
still smiles. Yeah. But we can see these rounds and they're feeling these rounds, and there's aggression again. Something wants that deeper line, and he's got it for starters.
This is why it's so rough to play against PaperX though, when they get themselves ahead. They know to not let up. Wolves can potentially find a 7-5 here. It will be. Big tick in the box.
Bang on. That wherewithal, that discipline, that capability in the high pressure games now is the biggest test for them. Looking a little fraught here so far. Last couple of rounds just not quite been in the wheelhouse. And again, the timing on these knives, rather good.
Fragment to prevent anybody slipping the smoke, even though Devi on watchful guard here, tucked into logs, because I mean PaperX can sit in this formation.
I mean, Devi's just, he does get caught playing ahead there. That is one thing that's works in their favor. He tried to lean a little forward, gets punished. But Forsaken, the Guardian in this one, keeping them at bay. And look at who slipped towards the site in the meantime. Jing still here, doing the dance. Does it well?
Nice one.
Another Forsaken popping up with 20
2v1,
seconds.
2v1, 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 2v1.
Offside has to stand and he can't.
It's not done yet.
Forsaken at 8-4. Such a commanding scoreline.
Really is. Wolves' resilience will be tested once more to try and come back here. I said 7-5, doable 8-4. I mean, it's a pistol round 2 potentially that makes this such a huge deficit to come up against.
Yeah, they've got their work cut out now for Wolves. This is a tough scenario. PaperX singular in their goal, eyeing up that grand final, but they're not there yet. One more half stands in their way. So they need to prepare
They're getting
themselves.
old now.
And it seems like we're about to send it over to Vansili with Sid City standing by.
कोई भी हो कहीं से भी हो घंटा फर्क नहीं पड़ता.
Thank you so much, Pansy and Hypog. We
Tenzu.
have a hell of a game
Tenzu
so far,
तुम्हारा.
but I'm joined on the floor right now by Sid City. Toronto, give it up to Sid City.
Tenzu तो knife निकाल.
Sid City, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. The energy in the stadium
Tenzu
is
is a
insane.
god, baby.
Yeah,
Tenzu
exactly.
के नाम पे एक जगह भी है.
The last time we had a chance to speak with each other, it was during an Americas matchup in LA. What's the vibes like here in Toronto in a sold-out Masters Toronto?
Yeah, I think it's insane because the East Coast and Canada
Tenzu
hasn't
is
had an
spot
event
बोलते
like
guys.
this in a long
तुम
time.
लोग को
And
मालूम
Los
होगा.
Angeles always has events like
Tenzu
this.
spot
So the
बोलते.
crowd, I feel like you guys are like super excited to finally be here in person and watching the games. Like you guys are
Such a
insane.
noob guy.
Toronto, you're excited? Hell yeah. And now you've played, you have some experience playing in Game Changers before, so you have an eye for skill. In this matchup so far between PaperX and Wolves, who
Eagle on that diffuse round, divide.
So does that mean Devi and PaperX are taking a series?
Yeah, I mean, I got PureX Rocket on my sleeve right now, so I think they're gonna scare us a little, make it a close match. But I think PureX is gonna like close it out. I'm sorry, Wolves. I'm sorry. You've been great though.
Well, Wolves, you know what to do. It's time to. Thank you so much one more time, City. Let's bring it back to the game.
Concept में रहता है Tenzu spot बोल के.
He's such a bold man. You know what I mean?
He's actually been rehearsing that for the last few days.
That's what I've been hearing in the
Patrick
hotel.
Baba.
House, yeah.
Yeah, fair play. And they're going to need a couple, because 4 rounds isn't many, right? PaperX sat on 8.
और फिर
You can see on the Coinbase Econ report kind of just the lay of the land.
चूतिए
really, and it
मार
has
ले
been a bit of a
Google मार
something
ले
show in my
Tenzu spot मार
mind.
ले.
He has
पुराना नहीं अभी.
elevated. I was worried after that first round with the operator. It didn't seem to phase him. He was right back into business.
Yeah, and I think the issue being now coming into the second half, you see the string of rounds. It's been collected by PaperX. Wolves haven't had much of a say in some of these losses yet. Coming down to maybe a 1v1 here and there, but all the crucial kills feel as if they went PaperX's way. Like I said, we started at a 4-1 scoreline. Now, it being 8-4, a pistol and a round 2 can often seal the fate of a team.
Juicy on the line here. First contact made, that's 2 players, and a third now noted. That's a lot of info. NephopAnshu is being bold about this, but he's been just about everything, but they've weathered the storm.
Yeah, I think initially there, the further investment of utility implied that PaperX were going to follow through, but maybe the Prowler catching on NephopAnshu made them think there's potentially a little bit of a stack.
सो जा रे कल से मैं ग्राउंड जाना है चूतिए.
Lovely timing on that, but something is free. A little bit of a Dinko going to do some serious work. Spring's already down low, now even lower. Cleared, Forsaken, Divide, trailblazing their way forward. The A site is their goal, and the plant's going to be in.
YU and NephopAnshu, a 2v4. A couple of members of PaperX tagged up, but certainly doesn't swing this in Wolves' favour. Have to overcome the odds here. PaperX just poised for anybody to step out. Actually, finds a second.
Basically, he's got to know where they are, but he can't do enough. A desperate attempt to get them back here. But PaperX take another step in the right direction.
On the brink of double digits. Again, as soon as they find, I guess, what they perceive as a point of weakness, they follow through. Wolves not able to even backtrack. Well invested here for round 2 as well. Don't want to leave anything up to chance. Rifles except for Patmen and Forsaken. Actually, Wolves set up in a little bit of a stack here. Flash in's only going to slow down the inevitable, it feels. Maybe toying with the idea of contesting that orb, but doesn't happen.
टाइमआउट में कैमरा चेंज करना पड़ता गाइस.
I think PaperX probably smell
Yep.
something.
There's a trap around that corner, guys. I'm pretty sure.
मेरे ख्याल से तो उसकी वजह से लैग हो रहा है. देखो कितना लैग हो रहा है.
Feels weird over there. And something looking to farm. If he falls, it would be a prize possession garnered.
I was curious there if Forsaken was going to show some utility on the other side of the map, because it's just Lysor, but Devi actually is calling a cancel on that.
Hello. That's one.
Nice.
There's more, and it's clear systematically, one by one. The flash through smoke is nice. See that BB is already noted as well. Can't really fall away from the stairs. Jingle takes the angle. PaperX looking locked in here, Mike. They're pulling no punches.
No, they're not. Again, showing diligence this time
30
around.
seconds left.
And that's when it really flips the switch. Wolves the ones to left. Kind of to sweat in this scenario.
तेरा फोन ही तो नहीं होता भाई. क्या है कि
Almost a second gets themselves, but Jing, a third found and a 10th on the board for PaperX. This buy round
That's it.
is huge for
Kind of
Wolves.
it.
पनौती क्या भाई?
Even bigger for PaperX if they
मैं जो
can
बोलते
find
वही होता.
only the one casualty.
That you're gonna cry, bro.
So they come into
That you're
round
gonna cry,
3,
bro.
You know what लगाया कुछ बोलते ना उसको?
flushed out in terms of the inventory. And Pac-Man actually just going to ride a Sheriff through here.
जाली.
It's Forsaken and Jing closest in terms of this ult cycle.
Cover going up.
Nothing of note for Wolves, but potentially a pace change.
ये वन में मस्त लगाया.
मस्त नहीं केज लगा.
Initially, Forsaken going to retrieve one orb.
अच्छा नहीं लगा केज लगाया रे.
Trying to retrieve one orb.
Yeah. Couple times in the last game. All good.
Balls.
They don't have control over towards A main.
क्या
so
बोला परसों गेम कंप्लीट कर दे तो ये कर दे तो बोला झांडू बाता.
A little bit cagey as a start, isn't it? You can see the...
I mean, it's a huge ultimate to have in the bonus, so you know they're going to want to come to this orb.
2 दिन का कल ही तो स्ट्रीम करे अपन.
Here it is, they're taking the talk.
And actually, Lysor and Spring do peel away.
मैं आपको इसी परसों करे.
Now they've cleared B main. If you're looking at Wolves' side, they cleared B main. So they might leave YU here, but you can already see that rotation coming in from Juicy. He's going to try and pop himself over towards A.
PaperX aren't dead set just yet. I think maybe going to prioritise towards short here to catch somebody out. They don't want to walk into this choke point.
मारता. अरे बाबा गन आउट कर रहे भाई.
Denied Forsaken with the first blow. And it could be a lethal one of that. Juicy. It's late, but job done, and Lysor does well. Tucked into hell, he drags down another with him. The Wolves aren't done yet. But Forsaken captured and held in place. The spike now left loose. With 20 seconds, he's got to make a miracle out of this. 3 players. Not gonna get it. A lifeline for Wolves.
अरे फर्स्ट किल अपना निकलने के बाद कई सारे केक बुलेट से मजा रे.
Shield to repurchase here for Juicy.
इसके लिए रेज होना रे. नेड़ा बूम बेटा तो मार
Was
देते.
the bonus, so PaperX is going to come back in, and because Pac-Man only brought a Sheriff to the party,
अंडर वाला तीन को मारा.
it's almost rinse and repeat here. Not out of the woods just yet. Cannot get the ball rolling in terms of the comeback.
But again, though, this was something that was said about that BB was building up his players, right? Keeping them confident, trying to keep them in the game. He's going to have to keep doing that because PaperX don't stop. Even in their losses, they will still play confident games. Something taking space. Solo Endeavor. 2 players on the other side. CFAT, BB, and Lysor playing top mid off the back of that trip placed in as well. So they've got a lot to play off of here. A very difficult scenario. Pac-Man on that deeper line in case someone does swing. It's got to be those early protocols being cleared.
I mean, it is a duelist's nightmare to play into this composition. But Lysor some death here.
Still have that trip, so they can still have confidence behind that. But they've read it wrong to an extent, right? They're kind of falling for this fade pressure on towards B main, but we know where it's heading. PaperX are once again eyeing up this A site. This is brutal. You got Juicy still here, you got Spring still here, but PaperX are right at the door now. And away they go. Something looks the wrong way and gets punished. Spring does well. Great paranoia too. Tries to slow the roll here, buy time for these rotations. Pressure from main held back by the smoke, but Divide gonna lean forward. Lurch closer. Juicy playing the corner. Gets denied. Looks for the follow-up. No. Spring barely alive on 2, but he's still breathing until then. Down to a 3v2. Man to the good for PaperX, and now Plant on their side.
We're going to be coming from heaven here.
See
Fat BB a little ahead of YU. Nobody from PaperX overstepping. They're tucked in right now.
Got to see discipline.
Oh.
That's a shoulder shown. Some damage made. So they could know 2 players off of this. That
the X-ray, though.
is a problem. That third being forsaken, but they're losing out on the site. Couldn't quite get the follow-up. And PaperX striding closer now. 11 rounds to their name.
A tough loss here for Wolves. Like I said, with the bonus being as well invested as it was.
1 enemy remaining.
Now seems daunting to approach this round 17.
God, you get that sinking feeling in your stomach,
Yes,
don't
for
you?
sure, yeah.
Your money's rotten. You haven't really found a way to handle PaperX. Maybe a chances existed and died on that first map, but they're not out yet. At 11-5 though, you can start hearing that music play, can't you? That 12th round looking likely, but in its way, good couple of sheriffs. And a team with a whole lot of hopes here. But for PaperX, they've got their own plan in mind, and that's a big investment and a big shot. Lysol lands it, so Jing's gone down. That's a weapon recoverable if they want it.
Yeah, and PaperX actually aren't in a position to capitalize elsewhere. They're spread so thin. Spike not committed anywhere just yet. So that man advantage will stand for the time being. No weapon recovered though for Wolves.
Nice from Patman, big kill there on Juicy. That knife should reveal at least 1 more, so do they need to turn away from this? Or do they just keep stepping forward? It feels a little headstrong for my taste, but it's PaperX, you kind of know what you're in for here. Lysol was the one to do the damage. It looks like they're trying to trail up towards heaven. Something YU, great shot. 25 seconds. Still standing. To go above and beyond here. 1 down. He's doing the dance. Oh, so evasive to try and land those shots. Baby was so far away. Batman is low. Forsaken is not. I know. Oh, Hail Mary!
क्या हुआ भाई कुछ बोल नहीं रहे हो?
I thought it was possible.
अरे बताओ तो सही.
But 12 found, and the final stand has to be now for Wolves.
छोटा गांड मुझ के.
This time PaperX able to wait out.
बुल्ले मिला दी PRX तेरी टीम को.
Navigate their way into this defense.
बुल्ला पकड़ने ना
Everything they need, it comes down to a fine margin once again. PaperX
balls packed, guys.
In terms of the finances here, a couple of ultimates starting to rear their heads. Side of Wolves actually. Few members just one away from some of these key ultimates, but we'll even get a chance to see them. Juicy, see Fat BB. No command here from Patman.
Okay. Anti-setup though, which is nice. They're still going to get a bit of a reward from this, right? It starts feeling very, very likely. Layers of ults though. Lysol could be in trouble here. See if that baby trying to get on. He's rewarded. Great kills on 2. Finding more would be mythical at this point. But for PaperX, they are left in tatters. Mike, I don't know if they could do it just these 2 players. Desperation play from Batman has got his man, but Wolves stave off what feels like the inevitable with 3 still alive.
Clinging to life here, the neural theft being the catalyst for PaperX. They know they have to fight the site then. Patman got down to just a lick of HP. No chance for them to sit back and try and defend that, but Juicy really the one to stop this from spiraling out of control.
1 enemy remaining.
Second paying off there. Yeah, it does.
Still got ults though.
I
say ult. A scary one with something. He's had a really good map here. Can they deny him now? Can they stop it now? Spring forced away looking a little shaky, but something's fallen.
He's caught on the trip, nobody broke it for him.
Which is a little bit worrying. That could be a tilter for him there, because that was meant to be their kind of, I guess, main part of the piece.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a nightmare for a duelist to play into this composition, but you really need that second or third man in line.
तेरे आँखें चुद गए
deal with that sort of thing.
ए
here.
पीछे से
Juicing
मारा रे रे
deals with Jing handily.
पीछे से मार रहा है
Right there,
रे
that
दम
he
नहीं
found
आगे से
like
मारना
the
उसको
dream gap to try and punish, but
कल
not to
करता
be.
वॉच पार्टी परसों संडे है ना कैसा
Correct, try and do what they can. And Wolves aren't allowing it. Patman does well towards sight.
Enemy
Let's
remaining.
see if that BB still on the back lines. Doesn't need to overextend himself. Waits for the swing. Wolves control this well, Mike.
Double digits. That's where I'll start.
That's where we
believing.
start.
Neeraj.
So he takes one round. PaperX up to 12 here. And that is a frustrating one for something.
Yeah, again, just looking at the minimap, there's two members here down in Arch. It's time to happen. And again, I'm not saying dealing with a trip and something goes wild there, but Bladestorm invested in that sort of round in particular. You never want to see a Jet having to invest a knife to deal with a trip, especially with two people in close proximity.
Find you.
But necessarily a big deal, all things considered.
That's the
Back to work though.
Looking for revenge up here.
Yeah, this time he wants in. See if that BB playing top mid. Looking at the rest of the team split throughout. A bit of a default coming out from PaperX. Maybe trying to catch some of the aggression.
क्या आयरन
Be
में
cautious as well.
वॉल
Spell
डाल
out
दिया
Lysol. And this is a creep towards A though. Look at the pressure. Spring's in potential trouble. Does have his paranoia if he needs it.
एक तो फंसता रहा
Investment will be
ट्रैप
going to
में
come down on the other side of the map though. Juicy's going to clear and give away that there's no one here, but they don't know about Jing. He's been able to slip ahead early. They don't know about Jing! And now you do! Like a knife to the heart, but Spring answers back. Trying to... What? Oh, Spring! You are a madman!
Spike down.
Goes absolutely beyond all expectation, but it is a 2v2. Don't think it's over yet. Spike is there. It's picked up. Sent back away. Plants coming in.
Look at the pit as well.
Oh my god, this is going to be down to the wire, isn't it? Divide disconnected towards A main. You're going to have Jing tucked towards sight. Spring.
Oi,
my
just missed him.
God. The timing. Unbelievable. Spring trying to play the game, and Jing now going to be doing around the world here, but they've given up position. This could be a mistake here, but they don't know about it. Obviously, they don't know about it. The pit's going to fall. And now you're looking at Jing. Divide.
GG.
What are you? Hold on again. Can he take down Divide?
What?
Absolutely can! Out of nowhere! Wolves digging deeper!
Spring tees it up. YU closes out with a Red Bull clutch here to keep Wolves alive.
I can't believe that. Look at this round. This Spring. You know it's a mad play when even PaperX don't expect it. You know that's a mad play.
3 bullets left for YU.
That's the killer instinct.
हाइड रहे थे मैच खत्म था
To be able to do that against 12?
अरे तो उसके बुलेटा खत्म थे ना रे
And I got to say, frustration, rightfully so. They give up the pit. They play themselves out of line of sight of the spike. Yes, it needs a miracle.
जीता हुआ राउंड हार रहे पक्का ओटी जाता हार जाते ना थर्ड मैप पे
It's still only 8 rounds. We said we start paying attention at 10. They've broken the bye, but it's still PaperX. They can do it with classics. But something seems so unwilling to let go of this.
सुन रहा हूँ नहीं तू बोल रहा तू सुन रहा हूँ नहीं
He's got to be careful. There's a world where he could get timed on this one. Those stingers, very, very deadly.
इनमें फ्लैश
We're going to go down. Camera here. Doesn't need to overstay his welcome. Could do with some support on CT though. They do have an open path straight across. Divide going to deny that. No one's going to be able to help out YU here. Does get to at least evade the siege, but they are right knocking at the door. PaperX have a way forward.
No damage done just yet.
The
side Batsy. Now, why are you going to have his hands full?
Oh, outdone! PaperX making something out of nothing, and maybe a mistake made by the Wolves. Plan's looking like it's coming in. You're looking at that late mid lurk as well, coming out from Jing. Juicy tries to make something of it. Takes away Forsaken, but the number's still good. PaperX hold the advantage here. Divide could be timed in this though. It's all going a little topsy-turvy. And of course, this is the asked so much of.
नीरज तुम्हारी टीम से नहीं होता अब जाओ बोलो घर को जाओ बोलो इसी बोरिया बिस्तरा बैक कर लेंगे वहीं से वहीं ट्रैवल करके ट्रैवलर में ऑरेंज ट्रैवलर्स में बस बुक कर लेके अभी रेड बस में बुक कर लेके चल जाओ बोलो समझ आ रहा छोटू
Further elevation on the side of PaperX today, overcoming quickly become a fan favorite here in Toronto.
Send that.
Still, gotta come away from this series with
Send
their
के प्लेयरों
heads
के नाम
held
बोल रहा
high.
आरिश ठीक है
Absolutely.
But Paper X deliver
अभी क्या
an absolute banger here.
शेजेम हट
And a 2-0 victory over Wolves.
Yeah, spot on again.
Shazam!
Wolves, and they're certainly not done yet.
शेजेम
Again, calling the
तेरी शक्ल
uncrowned princes, call them what you want. Paper X have another
Shazam!
shot at this now. It was never about just getting to a grand final, though. It was always about that
Kौन सी?
final step. The first to lock
PR
it in
मेरी
here in
Sentinel से
Toronto. Who will they be standing up against is the
Sentinels का
big
owner है,
question,
मैंने
but a
मालूम।
great performance here. 2-0, Mike. They've got to be happy
Sentinels का
with
coach
this one.
नहीं
Absolutely. And for me, Patman and
Yes,
Devi
he
being
was
two key stakeholders here for Paper X.
Devi for me was
Oh
absolutely
my
on the money.
word.
How
And
many
even said
times?
this is a
हार
guy
के
that's been
जीतने वाले को
so much
बाजीगर
flack.
कहते हैं
Because again, it's typically doesn't slip into that same sort of ethos.
हार के
The
जीतने
visual check, I guess, it's tough to really see his role within this roster. And
दो हारे तो दो बार बाजीगर बनते
I
हैं
guess the play style, but man, today
चलो गाइस
shining
Yes,
bright.
Yeah, as I said, making those big plays.
कल देखेंगे
His
कल किसका
value
मैच है
alone in
देखेंगे
some of
कल
these maps.
देखेंगे ना
Yeah, I mean,
exceptional.
how
Kal
do you
iska
look
match
Ratio
आता।
alongside some of these teammates along the way?
Right.
So,
No,
yeah,
credit to
beautiful
them.
stuff.
Really, really good stuff. And I
फिनाटिक
think
का मैच रात को
just want to see how far this goes. for
देखेंगे
them.
सोचा फिर
As I
लड़ा
said, as soon as it's ready, we will head down to that Verizon
इतना खास
post-match
नहीं था
interview. I'm
मतलब,
sure we'll
YouTube से
be
उसको
jumping
सुनने,
down there in a
मालूम
moment. Yeah, it does seem as though we are
Easy for
ready.
Fnatic.
So let's hear from the players themselves. Down with you, Insu.
It's been 2 years in the making, but Paper X are finally back in another grand final. I know, Jing, you're a man of few words, but I gotta get your reaction on this because, JJ, this is your third grand final on the global stage. How does this compare to LA?
अरे उसके मुंह पे तेल ऑयली है रे चमक रहा बस लोड़े टुमारो मैच टुमारो व्हाट इज डेट टुमारो
21st.
सो टुमारो मैच इज इन दोनों से जो हारता कल उनका मैच है
Sentinels खत्म है Sentinels.
हाँ गई घर को गई सेंटिनल
Fnatic जीत गई.
हाँ सेंटिनल था फिनाटिक में फिनाटिक जीत गई आइस बॉक्स चूतिया मैप कल बेस्ट ऑफ 5 है कल देखेंगे फिर फिनाटिक ही चाहती रहे फिनाटिक वर्सेस वुल्फ कल तेरी टीम के वर्सेस फिनाटिक देखेंगे बेस्ट ऑफ 5 9:30
मैच होते हैं.
हाँ
इसमें से 3 जीतना.
जीतती तेरी वुल्फ्स
वो अपना VLT वर्सेस जी वो तो वैसा है ना.
वीएल हाँ बेस्ट ऑफ 5 होता
5 मैच हुए थे ना वो टाइम पे भी.
चलो गाइस बाय बोला इधर आके पहले
सोना तेरे को.
बाय बोल बाय बोल 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 बाय बोल मैं तेरे को नंगा दिखा दे तो पूरा मैं कैमरा लेके आओ पीछे पीछे पे बाय बोल जल्दी ये क्या बोल रहा है
बाय
ऐसे कैसे बाय
बाय बाय बाय बाय बाय बाय बाय
बाय क्या बाय बॉल्स बोल
बाय गाइज.
बॉल्स
बाय गाइज.
बॉल्स रे
बाय गाइज.
बॉल्स बोल रही
बाय गाइज.
बाय गाइस दैट्स इट फॉर टुडे कल 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 का आज जो मेरे फिनाटिक जीत जाती मैं लिख के दे रहा हूँ कहीं तो लिख दो बोल तो लिख के क्या नहीं रे चलो गाइस बाय अबे लोड़े